42nd and last. Up front with Tamalolo. Robson, who's bound for the Roosters, so it's his last game as well for North Queensland. Bateman and Nene in the second row. Cotter, the 100 game of the lock forward, is rolling out the starting team. The bench is Lawton, Edwards, McKayligan, O'Donnell. The Cowboys have got the first carry. It's navy with lime fluorescent trim. That's the way I could describe the Cowboys home strip tonight, as Tamalolo takes a run and gets up to the 20. I'll go through the Broncos team for you in a moment, but it's a pretty solid looking one, similar to the one from last week. They're playing in the away strip white. Here's the original young cherry picker, Melbourne Storm premiership winner, Australian representative Jordan McLean. He's been smashed in a tackle and loses the ball with his first carry in his final game. Great defence from the Broncos as they pushed him back, and McLean just lost the ball over the back of his head. And it means that the Broncos will get a scrum 20 metres out. Kelly Walters there along with Shibasaki and Haas, and there were a number in there. Walsh is at fullback, Karapani and Mariner on the wing, Staggs and Shibasaki in the centres, Walters and Ben Hunt in the halves, Jensen and Haas up front, Pakes the hooker, Jaden Hunt and Ricky the second row, Carrigan the lock off the scrum. It's Walsh on the right-hand side and tackled only a dozen metres out. So immediately the Broncos, Pakes blindside gives it on to Staggs, and he's got an offload out the back, which is loose. Pakes has jumped on it and knocked it on. I fancy.
Cowboys knock on, I think it is Quentin first. It might have come off the hands of the centre, I think, in Jackson Purdue.
So,
yeah,
the Jew was close, and that's a chance for the Broncos to come back to centre field and set things up. Smoothie, Hedrington, Tolte and Piakura, that bench by the rate. So the scenario for the Broncos, if they win this one, they go into the top four tonight, having a better for and against.
It's great that we've got such a contest for those top 4 and top 8 positions this late in the season. We've got a blood bin already,
and it's Corey Pakes coming off.
Pakes coming, or is it HIA? Can you clarify that, Loz?
He's up the race, so it's a head injury assessment, and Tyson Smoothie comes onto the field. If you missed it earlier on, the Roosters had a big win in the NRL W 30-0, but the biggest storyline was perhaps Isabella Kelly going off with a suspected fractured jaw or a broken jaw. Staggs tackled just right of the ruck, 3 metres out. Broncos, early stages of a Cowboys mistake from a McLean carry, have occupation at the attacking end. Played by Jensen, 2 metres out. The ex-Cowboy plays it to the left. Walsh to Ben Hunt, to Jaden Hunt. Great tackle, Dearden. Around his thighs to take him down, 2 metres out. Played to Walters, who's a dummy half despite wearing the 6. More on that role we've seen in this year. He can't get through. Marker defence, Robson stops him to the left. Reece Walsh gets through a tackle. He's on his knees and passes to Shibasaki, who goes in and scores untouched. Opening try, Broncos, in the opening couple of minutes, having been gifted occupation at the attacking end from an early mistake from North Queensland.
Yeah, and it was a mistake. Watching the replay, Jordan McLean looked like he tried to actually pass the ball backwards as he was going back, and clearly the ball being called dead. But Tommy Dearden is going to go down for a missed tackle in this. He's gone out there to try and save the situation. He was let down by his winger in terms of being able to help out, and as a result, a fairly comfortable try out there to come out Shibasaki, and certainly a disappointing start to the game for the Cowboys, but a very positive one for the Broncos.
And a man who knows this part of the world so well, Laurie, Matt Shibasaki, who played a couple of games here only back in 2023, basically as he was trying to save his career, and we all know the story. The
Townsville boy, though.
Yeah, amazing what he's done this year.
Yeah, certainly.
That'll be a very heartwarming moment for him.
Yeah, certainly. He went to school here in Townsville, been in a lot of clubs, but what a year he's had this year. And tell you what, Reece Walsh, the last few weeks, they've been outstanding. He's got the ball when he's wanted, and Ben Hunt, he's been setting things up from halfback, and They're really in top form, the both of them.
Well, he's really stepped up, Walsh, playing both sides of the ruck, like a floating 5'8", and he's really been a link player for Hunt. And as you say, he's taken a lot of responsibility in the mix.
So Walsh continues with the kicking duties in the absence of Adam Reynolds. 16 from 20 for the year. This assignment 8 metres in from the left wing touchline and 22 metres out. Walsh strikes with his left boot and it nurses its way through. Conversion successful. Broncos 6, Cowboys 0. And we're only settling into the early stages of this one on Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Manly Warringah 2, good for St George Illawarra by 40 points to 24. Earlier Canberra 24, West Tigers 10. The Gilpin Shield with the Raiders for the first time in 3 decades around the grounds of the New South Wales Cup. Second half, Bulldogs 18 lead the Dragons 10. First half, no score between the Bears and the Eels. Queensland Cup full-time score, Tweeds beaten Blackhawks. The Seagulls 26 have beaten Townsville 14. And in the AFLW quarter time, Western Bulldogs lead Hawthorn by 7 points. Kickoff goes to the southern end of what is a packed stadium here tonight. First carry taken forward by Jensen to the 20. He's sending from touch on the western side. Plays the ball, fed infield to Karapani. Karapani stopped before getting to the 20. Plays it to Smoothie, off right shoulder, on to Carrigan down the middle third. And he takes the Bronx to within 11 metres of halfway. Brisbane pretty one-out stuff as Haas rolls to halfway. Just getting the ball out of their danger zone off the kickoff. Middle of the park as Haas plays it. Smoothie off left shoulder to Walsh. All one-out stuff. He's taken with a gain of 10. Last play Brisbane. 40 from the Cowboys line as Smoothie passes to Ben Hunt. High right foot bomb to the defensive left corner of the Cowboys where Burns leaps and catches and diffuses the bomb North Queensland to start this set a dozen out.
Yeah, and a fairly steady start there for the Broncos. The Cowboys not putting the same force into the tackles that certainly we saw from the Broncos. It'll be interesting to see whether they match this in their second set as the Cowboys come away from their line.
Yeah, Burns has a second carry, and now McLean down the middle third. Jordan McLean, 33 years of age, 242nd game, plays at 15 from halfway. Now Tomalolo, the veteran, in his 10th game of the year. He stopped 5 inside his own half. It's been a limited output from JT this year due to injury. End of the set, and Clifford puts up a bomb downfield. High ball, right corner, taken comfortably by Mariner of the Broncos. Kick return just beyond the 20. Centre field when taken. Walsh comes into dummy half. Gives it on to Karapani. Meets the defence there of the 100-gamer Reuben Cotter, the man from Mackay. Tunning up in here, the co-captain of the Cowboys making the tackle as the Bronx now shift left. Walters onto Shibasaki, but Bateman makes the tackle. Shibasaki plays it on the 30. One-handed pick up from Smoothie, given off to Carrigan. Now he pops it up to Haas. Clifford had to work really hard to drag him down. He got some help from Nene and also Purdue. Played 10 from halfway. Smoothie to the right, through Walsh onto Staggs. Runs into the defence of Burns. Good tackle. Last play Brisbane, 45 metres out, 5 in from touch on the right. Passed infield to Walsh. Left foot kick. Oh, he goes down, Reece Walsh, after the kick. It's caught 2 metres from the goal line by Drinkwater, but there's a penalty going to Brisbane. And interestingly, Braden Burns has stayed down to apologise there to Reece Walsh. Down to Laurie Spooner on the touchline, penalty Broncos.
Yeah, I think he just got winded, but yeah, he stayed there. It was just after they don't like attacking the kickers like that. They want that completely stamped out and a penalty given. Yeah,
it's an interesting one, Laurie, because you've got to be allowed to put some pressure on.
He's gone to the bin for 10 minutes as well. Braden Burns.
Well, they haven't given us a replay of it. I'd like to see a replay, but there's talk, and it's interesting talk about introducing the rule that says so long as you're making a tackle between shoulder and waist, that there's the opportunity to do that.
So the scoreboard's got the wrong number up for the man in the bin. It's definitely Braden Burns. They put the opposite winger up, Valame, but it wasn't him.
No.
So the Cowboys are a man down and already 6-0 down. Brisbane on the attack, and Haas is only 5 metres out as he's held up just near the padding of the posts. He'll play the ball here for Brisbane. The Bronx starting well in the north. Smoothie to the left. Ben Hunt dummies infield. Floats a pass to the edge for Karapani. Valamay's in front of him. He's also got company there from Labour to make the tackle. Broncos to play at 8 from the Cowboys line, 10 in from the left. Shibasaki passes right in centre field for Ben Hunt. Keeps it moving through the hands. Carrigan at the line. Gives to Walsh. Ball goes forward off a Clifford touch in the tackle. What does referee Klein say?
He's called the knock-on of the Broncos.
I think he's called it lost forward by Brisbane, so that's a let-off.
No, it was play on, and just the last minute when the Broncos went to pick it up, that was the knock-on there.
It was a knock-on.
So Braden Burns in the bin for that late challenge on the kick of Reece Walsh. 7.5 minutes played. It's Broncos 6, Cowboys 0. Quentin Hull, Laurie Spooner and Grant Bell bringing it to you. And it's great to see the sold-out sign up and most seats filled. So often we come here, it's sold out and not everyone turns up. But it's a pretty good crowd tonight. Broncos in town. Always one of the biggest nights.
Town. Been a lot of excitement in town.
Valamay is taken just beyond the 20. And all of those 2015 champions, bar a couple, are in town to celebrate the 10 years of that most memorable of season deciders. McLean tackled on the third, centre third. Plays it there to Robson, off right shoulder to Tomalolo. Gains a dozen on a rumble down the middle third. Tackled there by Jaden Hunt of the Broncos. Now to the left. McLean passes through the hands. Drinkwater to Clifford. Out to the edge for Purdue. He's on halfway. Runs infield. Bounces off a man before being wrapped up by the tackle of Jaden Hunt. Cowboys last. 45 metres out. Clifford puts a grubber in behind the line. Interesting kick. Taken by Walsh near the touchline. 15 from his own line. Got support in field there in Mariner, who receives the pass, and he's immediately tackled by Dearden. So the Broncos will start this set 15 from their own line. 6-0 Brisbane after 9 minutes.
Yeah, much better kill. We'll let you go.
Line break. Away go the Broncos. It's Karapani to halfway. Puts on a step, but Drinkwater takes him. The fullback with a great tackle, 35 out, and Karapani, he was pretty disappointed. He slapped his fist, but he didn't get past him. Walters pinches another 15 out of dummy half. Bronx on the attack. He's tackled 21 out. Now movement to the right. Carrigan to Ben Hunt. On to Ricky. Ricky's held up in the tackle of Clifford and Robson. The Cowboys have scurried back on side. Now Smoothie, blindside right. Ben Hunt. Short ball, Stags. Through the gap. Into the in goal. Second try for the Broncos. Beautiful pass from Ben Hunt.
Yeah, it really was. And one of the contests that I had written down tonight, and it's because Stags has been playing in such great form, and Purdue in attacking form, was the contest between Purdue and Stags. And physically, Stags is such a hard player to contest and manage, and it was a really poor missed tackle there coming through the line, and it's something that I think it's been a little bit of a concern for the Cowboys, and that's sitting around John Bateman, where he finds himself caught out. But it was a lovely short ball from Ben Hunt that put the pressure on Reuben Cotter. There was certainly some discussion came out between Reuben Cotter and Purdue as to who had a responsibility there, but I think it was Cotter's, but Purdue needed to come in and make an assist on it.
And Katoni Stags, that close to the line, doesn't need much more help. 10 tries for the season now for Stags. And on an emotional night for the Cowboys, they haven't got next week. This is their last game of the season. And they've got farewelling Stars. You know, and emotion's so important sometimes in these games. And Brisbane has just started perfectly from that perspective. Reece Walsh now opposite side to where he converted the opening try. This is 10 in from the right. 25 out. He swings his left boot into it, raises the flags. Broncos 12, Cowboys 0 after only 11 minutes. And Laurie, you know what I'm saying about those games where McLean farewelling, 100 games for Cotter, Robson going, last game of the season, premiership heroes in the house. Yet what do the Bronx do? Put 2 on them in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's for sure. Of course, Burns was off, and Ben Hunt noticed they're short on that side, and beautiful pass to Katoni Staggs. But Cowboys back to their bad old days of missing tackles and making a few errors. They got to lift. It's a full house here. Of course, playing for the Carl Webb medal also.
and the Broncos playing for a spot in the top 4 tonight. So plenty of storylines on this Saturday night of footy on ABC Sport, with Dearden kicking off down to the goal line. Walters takes the catch and gives it on to Jensen, and a man who spent 58 games in the Cowboys strip, 5 seasons here, tackled short of the 20. Now Jaden Hunt runs infield for Brisbane. Just beyond the 20, his midway goal line and halfway when tackled by Cotter, played to Smoothie, given to Carrigan, passes right for Ben Hunt again, men in motion on the right. Walsh gives it to Staggs, defence shifts, and Staggs is tackled. 10 in from touch on the right, 15 from halfway. Already 12-0 to the Broncos as Ricky receives, runs into the tackle of Nene and is put down, 5 shy of halfway. Ball swung back to centre field. It goes along the grass. Walsh has to clean it up. He pops it up to Jaden Hunt. A little bit of hot potato stuff given to Walters. Tried to pass, lost the ball. Referee Klein says knock on. So that was a bit messy from the Broncos.
Certainly was. They were a little bit flat too to try and shift the ball across the way they did, and they found themselves in a little bit of trouble in the urgency to get the ball across the park, because the Cowboys were certainly short on their right edge. I had a bit of a look back too, and found the charge down from Burns, and he went straight through the legs of Walsh, and that was the clear concern, that he took Walsh's legs out post kick.
So clear penalty, but do you think it was worth the bin?
No, well, I think that there might have been a bit of gamesmanship in it, but it's the way that it is, and certainly, okay, be careful on it.
Cowboys are now on the attack. 12-0 the Broncos. Grant Bell, Quentin Hull and Laurie Spooner with you as Bateman will play it only 30 metres out. The first real chance for North Queensland on the attack. Dearden off his left shoulder to McLean. And Jordan McLean, whose actually last game for Melbourne was against the Cowboys at winning a grand final back in 2017. Now to the right. It's Tamalolo driven to the deck. Great tackle. Jaden Hunt under his ribs, put him down, 20 out, back to the left. Dearden to McLean, through the hands. Oh, it goes to Deck to Nene on the left edge. Has to pick it up, does so, get monstered by 3 Broncos defenders. Last play, Cowboys, out on the left, 20 metres out. Dearden chips for the middle of the field. It's coming through, Labert catches, play on, flips it out the back, kept it alive to Dearden. Dearden passes right for Bateman, he's 10 metres out, hot potato pass. Intercepted eventually by the Broncos, but the referee says there was a knock on there. Shibasaki came up with it. Hold on, let's tune in to referee Klein. Well, he's given the decision that there was a Broncos knock on in that ricochet, I think, and it's going to be a scrum feed for the Cowboys. Just watching replays here.
As the ball tipped up, it touched.
Yeah, so while Shibasaki was trying to regather his own touch, it bounced into a Broncos player. Yeah. So, centre field scrum. Dearden wins it, passes left. Clifford has a run at the line and is dragged down by Ricky only a couple of metres out. Cowboys need a hit back. Broncos with the first 2 early tries, 12-0. McLean takes it and rumbles closer to the post. 3 and 4 around him as he's tackled, only 2 metres out. Robson comes into dummy half, sweeps it right for Dearden, into Drinkwater. Now, Labert puts Bellarmé over the corner. Cowboys do hit back on a simple through-the-hands right side shift. 12 points to 4 to Brisbane. Cowboys conversion attempt to come. Sammy Bellarmé, just his 4th game of the season. He's off contract, so any try helps. That's his 3rd of the year.
Yeah, well, the Broncos with quite a compressed defence in around the goalpost, and the Cowboys very deep. And I think that ultimately the Broncos have miscounted and found themselves leaving 1 player spare on the Cowboys attacking line, and that was sufficient to allow a very comfortable try to Bellarmé into the corner. And it certainly came through possession down there, and time in over a couple of sets down there, and the Cowboys using the ball more wisely than perhaps they had earlier on, and still a player down.
Remember, he made his first appearance coming from Canberra in amazing circumstances, Sammy Bellarmé. You just wonder what his future is at the club now. But an easy finish for him in the right corner. And we're still 40 seconds away from Braden Burns returning from the bin. So that's a try 12 on 13. One man down for the Cowboys. Scott Drinkwater will try to convert. He's 4 metres in from touch on the right. 21 metres out. Your messages, by the way, welcome on 0467 920 222. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0467 920 222 as Drinkwater curls it beautifully from left to right to convert the try. Broncos 12, Cowboys 6. 15 minutes have been played here in Townsville, around the grounds. New South Wales Cup second half. Bulldogs 28 lead the Dragons 10. First half, North Sydney 6 lead the Eels 0. And in the AFLW second quarter, Hawthorn lead the Western Bulldogs by 4 points. You got any mail, Loz, on what's happening with Sammy Valame? Sticking around?
Nah, nothing yet, but he's unsigned, so yeah, not too sure. He's probably leaving. I'll tell you what, I think they found a goal kicker. Drinkwater nailed 3 from the sideline last week. Another one tonight. Yeah, he's kicking really well. They've always been able to score tries this year, pretty good, the Cowboys, but yeah, leaking more than 28 points a game. That's their big problem, Q.
Taumalolo, great run off the kickoff. Beyond the 10 now, Cotter. Second play is midway goal line and halfway. It seems the Cowboys have settled now. Lost the ball in that opening set, conceded a try, and here's the man that did lose the ball, the retiring Jordan McLean. Extraordinarily, he's a kangaroo, but got picked for Origin late in his career and did a hamstring. Never played for New South Wales. This is one of the shames of the story of Jordan McLean. He's playing the ball here. Now Bateman gains 10 to the right of the ruck. He's 10 from halfway. Geez, putting in a shift early on, McLean. There's another run from him up towards the middle of the ground. 8 tests for the Kangaroos, but never got to wear that sky blue jersey. Clifford from halfway. It's a shallow bomb at the end of the set. Will come down about 25 out. Knocked on by Karapani, then knocked on by Clifford. So the leaping Broncos winger puts it down. Clifford couldn't scoop it up from his ankles and scoot away. But the Cowboys will get another shot at the Broncos line off that knock on from, it may have been Mariner coming in on that occasion. Yeah, it was Mariner out on that right side. So he's made the mistake. Francis on the text reckons the sin bin was ridiculous for Braden Burns, but he's back out there now. 0467 920 222. 12-6 the scoreline to Brisbane. Now here is Burns, having returned from his penance. Tackle off the scrum win. 20 metres out in centre field for the Cowboys, running to the southern end. To the right, Dearden onto Taumalolo. Carrigan there, along with Jaden Hunt and Pakes to put him down. 11 metres out, played to Robson, pass left, Clifford gives it on to Nene, quick pop past the Dearden, segment to the edge for Drinkwater, has to stop. There was an obstruction line, so he gets tackled. And Drinkwater on that shift. Eventually plays the ball a dozen out, a dozen in from the left. Back to right in centre field. Dearden gives it on to McLean. And Jordan McLean. Centre field 9 metres out. Penalty for a 2-on-1 strip here. So obviously the ball was lost. The referee has called for the penalty.
What would you do here, Loz? Kick or play on?
Take the tap, Grant.
Yep, they're going to go for it. So first carry, settling hit up there from Cotter. He's a couple of metres out, plays it to Robson. Pass left for Taumalolo. Pakes gets low to cut his legs off. Taumalolo plays it too shy under the dot. Robson dummies right, and then he ran his head into Taumalolo's back. Goes to score, referee says it's okay. I think the markers had moved so far that won't be ruled an obstruction. Ash Klein likes it straight up. He's awarded the try. Still got to always have a look at these though, Grant.
They do.
12-10 kick to come, but Robson literally ran into the left rump of Taumalolo before going over.
He certainly sold a big dummy, and as you say, both markers had well and truly departed and provided an avenue for him to go through there, but there was a collision with the left side of Jace Taumalolo.
Well, the bunker referee tonight is Chris Butler.
Did he ground that ball underneath him, or did it roll underneath him there, Laurie?
Yeah, saw a little bubble, but did he put it down before that happened?
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
sure.
I think they'll have a look at it.
Well, Reece Robson headed to the Roosters. His last game as a Cowboy. His 131st and last, having started at the Dragons. Won't he be a handy acquisition at Bondi? It's been ratified, so that try is good. And Drinkwater should level the scores from straight in front. It was 12-0 Broncos. It's now 12-all. 20 minutes into the first half. Brisbane 12, North Queensland 12, Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Yeah, his work rate's really high, isn't it? Reece Robson, they'll miss him at the Cowboys. Going back to the charge down and kickers, man, when I played kicking that ball, they came from all angles. You not only kick the ball, you have to protect yourself straight after us. They hit you after you kick the ball. What a difference.
Yeah, it is really different, and I think the game needs to, through the off-season, consider how that can balance out.
Walsh with the restart for the Broncos. So 12-0 Bronx, now 12-all. Tamalolo charges. And I must admit, this looks like the most output from the combo of Tamalolo and McLean at the start of a game for the Cowboys I've seen for quite some time. McLean with a carry up to the 20. There we go. They've had it again. 1-2. These two experienced men who just, well, they're just not as good as they were when they were younger. Age is an unconquered sporting opponent. Now to the right. Dearden with a little dummy and straighten. Dearden up to halfway. This game's been played at a pretty open pace. Dearden plays it right-hand side. Robson gives it on to Bateman. Cowboys into attack. Bateman offloads back to Robson. 35 out. Give it to Cotter on the 30. Takes a tackle. Gives to Drinkwater. Hurdling defenders. Passes infield to McLean. Now across the 30. Past to Clifford. He beats a man who slipped over in Ricky. Then gets past Welsh. Then almost past the third. But he stopped only 8 metres out. Cowboys are rolling to the southern end here. Robson to the left here and short ball to Nene. Great contact from Walsh and Staggs to make the tackle, but it's wavy fisty from Ash Klein. 6 more coming up for the Cowboys. Dearden has it, gives it to Tamalolo on a rumble. Ricky brings him down, 6 metres out. Tamalolo plays it to Robson, passes right for Dearden, shows it, gives it to Drinkwater, cut out to the edge, quick hand slay, but in behind Ballamay over the touchline. Over the touchline on the western side, and well, Michael Maguire, who's sitting right next to us, he would have been delighted with the first 10 minutes. Couple of tries, thinking, yep, they'll be up for this, the Cowboys. We've got 2 on them. But now the Cowboys have said...
The tackle was true.
Hold on.
Brisbane believe the ball was touched by... Cowboys believe the ball was touched by the Broncos.
Captain's challenge, hoping that...
Laboured pass.
Previous too.
Interesting, because it was, otherwise it was a very poorly directed pass from
yes, everyone.
Angles to see if D. Marrow gets a touch on this ball.
I'm just saying, Belly, so it's one of those now that the Cowboys have just sort of put the handbrake down and I might as well play some footy at him.
Yeah, did it come off his head?
There's no touch from Josiah playing on at this point.
That's a burnt challenge, I think.
Yeah, and you've got to look at the time of challenges. We've seen some really poor challenges, I think,
now goes into touch,
in recent weeks. And at times when you're going to need them later on, it's not a good challenge. You're down in their end. Let it go.
12 all the score line. Quentin Hull, Grant Bell and Laurie Spina with you in Townsville for Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Raiders and Sea Eagles winners earlier today. Karapani is going to be stopped. Broncos with it on their own 30. Plays the ball there to Pakes, given on to Hetherington. Hetherington tackled 12 inside his own half. Pakes back to the blind side left. Walsh at the line, a little dance, and pops a pass to Jaden Hunt to the 30. Fullback in front of him, up to the 20. Palms off Drinkwater, but he had to run on an angle, and Robson gets back in support with Clifford to make the tackle. Quick play the ball. Ben Hunt receives to the right. Robson's in his face. Popped the ball out the back. Cleaned up by Ricky, but he stopped. All the Cowboys back on side. Broncos have got it, but they're 10 metres out. Now to the left, Walsh gives it to Jensen, and Jensen is going to be put on his back, only 9 metres from the goal line. 17 minutes to the break, 12 all the score line. as Pake shifts it left. Walsh pops it up for Jaden Hunt. Can't get through the tackle of Bateman. Good first contact from the Englishman to stop him. 15 to the left of the uprights, 5 out. Pake's back to the right onto Hetherington. Straightening run, but Tamalolo there to tackle him along with Bateman next to the post. Now swept to the right. Walters gives it on to Ben Hunt. Beats the tackle of Clifford. Tries to offload. Does. Gave it to Walsh. Harbour Bridge to the edge for Mariner. Lil in and away. But there are 3 Cowboys defenders there to tackle him. Almost push him over the whitewash. Right on that right edge. 5 metres out. Back to left and centre field. Walsh. Forward pass to Carrigan. Called immediately by the referee. And that's a let-off for North Queensland. 16 minutes to the break, 12 all the scoreline.
Yeah, certainly the Cowboys were under pressure there and needed to defend their way out of trouble. And now they've got this is such an important set for them.
Oh, hold on, a lost ball from Scott Drinkwater. First play of the new set. And no challenges available, even if it wasn't a mistake. So the Broncos to immediately go back on the attack. And just having a look, yeah, Jason Tamalolo, for a moment I thought he was limping a bit. Loz, he's just exhausted after his first shift.
Yeah,
walking beyond the touchline at the northern end.
He's had a big stint, and I'll tell you what, he looks fitter than he has all year. I know this is his 10th game, I think. 285 games. Yeah, it's probably the best he's looked this year.
Centre field scrum Broncos. Staggs comes in from the right and almost steps through. Clifford drags him down only a couple of metres short. 12 all the scoreline. Pakes to Jensen, who wasn't really running at that. It was a bit flat-footed, put down next to the padding of the posts. Only a metre from the goal line. Pakes now shifts it left. Ben Hunt passes infield to Jaden Hunt. Slips into the tackle of Edwards. Ball to be played centre field and 8 metres out. Pakes dummies right, passes left for Walters. Runs at the line. Walters gives the ball on to Shibasaki. He's into the end goal. He's got tacklers around him. They push him over the in goal area. The touch in goal area. Great defence from the Cowboys.
Great numbers. And the defence in the last 10 metres for the Cowboys to this point of the game, take away the first 10 minutes, has been a real step above what they've shown throughout the season. It's been one of their real weaknesses and something that they needed to improve earlier in the season.
From the 20, Burns made a good first run. Second play, Valamay, they're 10 shy of halfway. Now Harry Edwards has got the football. He'll get to his feet and play it. Couple of metres from halfway. McLean rolls into Broncos territory. He's going to be put on his back 41 metres out. 14 minutes to the break, 12 all the scoreline. McLean plays the ball to Robson. He's hurt, McLean. He's holding the back of his head. Robson runs out a dummy half, gains a dozen before being stopped 28 metres out. Played to Deard and passes left and centre field for the Cowboys. Clifford onto Drinkwater running at the line. Pass to Nane's knocked on.
And it would have been forward anyway. Yeah, that's poor, but I got to, whilst I was talking about the Cowboys' defence in their last 10 metres, which has really improved, it's great to see the mirroring defence that the Broncos are throwing up. When they're under pressure, they're mirroring the movements of the Cowboys and really going up, checking and sliding and defending very well at their edges.
Tony from Chatswood's listening. Who's calling the game with you? G'day, Tony. Quentin Holt, Laurie Spinner and Grant Bell are here in Townsville on what's a gorgeous Saturday night for footy. You can just sense the weather's starting to change. Springtime starts on Monday, 1st of September, Monday, officially. Shibasaki with it on the 30 as the Broncos try and run the ball up from the southern end. Ben Talsey, who's been so good since coming into the team. Off the bench and into the action. He's tackled 15 from halfway. Played to Pakes. Given to Carrigan. Middle third run from Pat Carrigan. Tackled 2 shy of halfway. Quick play the ball. Pakes gives off left shoulder to Walsh. On to Hetherington. Runs into attacking territory, KB Hetherington. Put down on the red stripe of the 40 centre field. Last play says Ref Klein. Pakes passes right. Given to Ben Hunt with a high kick at the end of the set. Burns is underneath it and catches it well. About 10 from his own line before Ricky's there to make the tackle. Cowboys with it, 12 minutes and change to the break, 12 all the scoreline in Townsville.
Yeah, well, and you've called Walsh a few times. His contribution on the left-hand side has been terrific to balance out what Hunt's been trying to do.
Valamay on the 20 and now McKaylee's out there and Thomas McKaylee takes 3 with him on 5 or 6 post contact. contact metres. Plays at a dozen his own side of halfway. Edwards, one man to the right of the ruck. Give him 8 on the game. Last place is referee Klein. Cowboys just inside their own half as Clifford puts up a bomb to that right corner where Mariner catches well despite the leap of Nene against him. And Mariner is tackled out on the right edge, 20 from his own line. Ball passed infield to Staggs. Staggs goes to ground. It was Broncos 12-0 early on, but the Cowboys hitting back with 2 tries. And if you're a Bronx fan listening and thinking, yep, it's the old rivals, but they got nothing to play for, danger game, well, certainly the way the Cowboys is throwing the ball around a bit, but the Broncos did start very well. Cowboys getting 2 back at them, and Cowboys fans thinking, are we going to show some emotion and pride? Send Jordan McLean out and Ruben Cotter and on his 100th and all of these milestones? Yep, we're getting what we've expected so far. Good game. Hetherington's got it. Centre of the field for the Broncos. Taken 32 metres out. Last play. Pates passes left. They run it. Walsh shaping to kick. Now does kick in behind the line. Pitches near the goal line. Drinkwater's there to see it dead.
Gee, he had to work hard too, Drinkwater there. 3 chases in there for the Broncos, and a terrific little kick there from Walsh. Just moving across, shaping, holding the defence up, and made sure that they isolated Drinkwater to protect that kick.
Conditions down here, usually in those bombs, there's a bit of breeze going around, it swirls, but here it's really still down here. Very hot and still.
Short restart. Goes to 12 metres, and then the referee finds a penalty for North Queensland for offside Broncos. They got the ball back, but in an offside position. So, yeah, it's not steamy by local standards at all, but yeah, can certainly feel the weather changing a little bit, and there's not much breeze around today.
Yeah, we've had quite warm days up here of recent, not that I've been back up here for much, but in the recent week, and it's been quite cool mornings and evenings, Laurie. I imagine for yourself it's been similar up in Ingham.
Yeah, the days have been 31, 32, but they cool down a bit at night, but it's no breeze at all here.
9.5 to the break, 12 all the scoreline. Cowboys with the ball off that Broncos offside from the short restart. Bateman on the right edge. Taken on halfway. Thought he could go again. Doesn't, so plays it quickly. Played to Did. Give it a Drinkwater. Running laterally across halfway. Now passes left for Clifford, who dummies and straightens, but runs into the tackle of Jordan Ricky. And Clifford will play it here for North Queensland. 42 metres from the Broncos line. Robson passes left. Drinkwater puts on the goose step. Has a go at them. Passes to Purdue. Can't get through Staggs. Purdue to play it out in the left. 25 out. Drinkwater passes infield to Clifford. Chips in behind the line. Walsh leaps. Had 2 bites. Couldn't catch it. Ball stays alive out the back. Referee says knock on Broncos.
Gee, I reckon
Cleaned up by the Bronx in the end, and Edwards goes in to dot down for the Cowboys. What, you thought it was still alive?
Yeah, I thought the ball was still alive there, and I wasn't convinced that the Broncos had knocked the ball on. I'd like to see that again, but either way, I thought the ball was still alive.
Well, you know what it's like being in the coach's chair, Belly. I was just trying to describe it from Michael Maguire. You got your rivals on their home deck, last game of the year. McLean retiring, Cotter's 100th, Robson leaving, premiership heroes in the house. You think, gee, they're going to have a go at us here. Can we start well? And they did. But now the Cowboys are back at them. 10-metre scrum, Did, and to the right. Gives it on to Labert, shimmying infield. Carrigan knocks him down, though. Got around his legs. Help from Hetherington to finish off the tackle. Cowboys play at 8 metres out. They're looking dangerous to locals in their last ride of 2025. McKaylee on a straightening run. Stopped 5 metres out. Plays it to Robson. Sweeps it to the left. Through Clifford to Drinkwater. Oh, the pass hit the backside of Nene. It came unstuck and is jumped on by the Broncos. That was very poor. Carrigan's there to mop it up, and that diffuses any building pressure. Staggs gets an offload away. Bit of second phase here for Mariner over the 30 as the Broncos run it back at them. Mariner's tackled out on the right. A dozen from halfway. Plays the ball to Ben Hunt. Gives it on to Ricky. And Jordan Ricky runs up towards halfway for Brisbane. There's 8 minutes left in the first half. It's 12 all between North Queensland and the Broncos on Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Ben Hunt pinches, Corey Paix should have said, pinches 10 metres out of dummy half. Now here Here's Hunter coming up, passing it on to Tulty. Tulty gives it on to Hetherington. Up to the 10. Hetherington tackled by the fullback. Drinkwater in company with Edwards. Only 9 metres out, centre field. Pake shifts it to the left. Walsh grubbers into the in-goal area. It's too hot. It's too hot. It's almost gone across the bridge at the northern end.
Yeah, he's threaded it through, but too heavy, and lost an opportunity there because they certainly had the better of the Cowboys going through there. And I tell you what, I've got to comment on the work rate of Carrigan. He has been everywhere, and you called him last play. He has been all over the field.
Burns with the ball for the Cowboys. 15 from halfway. 7 tackles set after the grubber from Walsh went dead. Edwards held up in a 3-man tackle. Passes there along with Hetherington and also Jaden Hunt to make the tackle. Edwards plays it to the Roosters bound Robson. Gives it off to McKaylee. And Thomas McKaylee just inside attacking territory when brought down centre of the park. He'll play it 46 metres out. Robson passes right for Dearden. 6 more. Right side. Drinkwater dummies and straight, and Shibasaki there with Walters to take him down. Fresh set though for the Cowboys. 25 out. They were down 12-0. They were down to 12 men. But they're 12 all and on the rumble. Cotter in the middle of the ground. He's taken only 13 metres out in a straightening run. Play to Robson. Passes left for Dearden at the line. Flat ball and Nene tried a miracle ball out the back. It bounced. It's been taken by Clifford. He's gone in, and the referee says that's okay for a go-ahead try for North Queensland. Oh, they are just playing with free-flowing hands tonight, the Cowboys. And the Broncos have seen a 12-point lead evaporate. It's 16-12 kick to come. Oh, Nene, he was going to deck and he flipped it out the back and it sort of spewed towards Clifford. No knock on.
Came off one of the Broncos players, I believe, on the way through there.
Yeah, hit Walsh as he went to tackle Nene and it bounced over the line and he's picked it up and scored.
Oh, yeah, we're just seeing on the replay now, a flick pass into an oncoming Broncos tackler. So, fair call. Try for Jake Clifford. Where's this come from, Laurie Spooner?
A bit of desperation. They showed it last couple of weeks, the Cowboys, and you're showing it in their defence. At 12-0 down, they've really clawed themselves back. Nene's had a few ordinary runs, but that one, the timing was really good. And he flicked it back there, really coming, the Cowboys.
And you've got to remember that top four's the carrot for the Broncos tonight. There, one game remaining is against Melbourne next week.
Yeah.
Smoke must be coming out of Maguire's next door there, Q.
Well, Grant's having a look at him. I'm watching Drinkwater try and convert this try. Man on the left, with the left boot. He raises the flags from 12-0 down. North Queensland now lead at 18-12. How's he looking there, Belly?
No, Imagination's still pretty calm in there. And he might have, before I looked over, he may well have been a little bit more elevated.
Well, is it as simple as a team just wanting to finish on a high? A few passes are sticking. Belly,
a few things are sticking. It's certainly been coming. There's been something showing and something there as an opportunity for the Cowboys over recent weeks. They found themselves with a little confidence in each other, and those things can make a huge difference.
McKaylee with the charge into the defence off the kickoff. A dozen from the northern end when tackled. 18-12 to the Cowboys Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Nene is now stopped before getting to the 20, still inside his own defensive zone. Drinkwater at dummy half. Passes infield to Burns. He was the man went to the bin early for an illegal challenge on the kick of Walsh. He stopped on the 20.
She's been an improved player this year.
Oh, Bateman's lost it out the back. Sorry, Belly. John Bateman has lost the ball on the 30. This is what the Bronx need. 3.5 to the break. They'll get the ball 30 from the Cowboys line.
Yeah, no challenge left for the Cowboys in there, and this is a real threat to the Cowboys. 3.5 minutes to go, and Payne Haas looking fired up there and looking at as the most threatening player.
So 3 to the right, 3 to the left. The Broncos. Where's Walsh?
Good mathematics.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if they had one side stacked. No, they're going to Reese's side. He was first man to the right. He lost his grip trying to step off his right boot. Tackled 25 metres out. Plays it to Pakes, given to Hetherington. And he sets things up for another Broncos attacking raid. He's tackled 18 out and centre field 3 minutes to the break. Cowboys lead 18-12 as Tolte charges into the line. Taken down slightly left of the uprights, 10 metres out. Played to Pakes, given right for Ben Hunt. Pops it up for Ricky. Nice tackle. Cotter cuts him down 6 metres out. Played to Pakes, given left for Ben Hunt. Short ball. Tolte tackled by Bateman, only a couple of metres out. Last play, Broncos to the left. Walters cut out for the edge. Beautiful pass. Beautiful take. Beautiful try. Josiah Karapani. Oh, he had to weave past the sliding defenders, and Karapani goes in the left corner for Brisbane with 2 minutes left in the first half. 18-16, kick to come.
Wonderful pass from Walters coming across to his left there, and it certainly that's what happens when teams don't go forward. When they just go a little bit up and they paddle as the Cowboys did, they leave the opportunity there. And with Falloway lined up the way he was on his edge, he left defenders an opportunity to attack him both left and right, and it caused him trouble. He came back on the inside, Karapani, and a well-deserved try, beating both him and Labert on that right-hand, Cowboys right-hand edge.
So now 9 tries in 9 games this year for Josiah Karapani. Yep, got past Valame in that shifting defence. Good footy. Walsh will need to convert, though, to level the scores as we tick to within the final minute of this first half. Conversion attempt only a couple of metres in from the western touchline. Got the ball placed about 25 metres out. Sways his body, ready to approach and strike it with his left boot. Beautiful kick from Reece Walsh. Raises the flags. He's 3 from 3. We were right behind it, Belly. Never looked like missing.
It was a wonderful kick from Walsh. And certainly the threats are there from both sides, and mostly the defence has been there from both sides. But each one is presenting an opportunity and a chance for the other to take on and create something. And with 3 minutes to go, we identified that there was going to be a real risk for the Cowboys, leaving the Broncos an opportunity that close to their try line.
You got to give Billy Walters credit. His father's not coaching at the Broncos, but wherever they've put him, he's played well. And tell you what, that pass not very easy to throw. Beautiful pass, cut out too, and yeah, good try Broncos. But Cowboys again making errors when they shouldn't.
Yeah, pass off the kick return. 10 post-contact metres. Big pain beyond the 20. They get 21 out as he plays at western side. One man infield to the try scorer, Karapani. Stopped just short of the 30. There's about 30 seconds left in this entertaining first half. 3 tries apiece. It was 12-0 Bronx. Got to 18-12 Cowboys. Now to the shift. It's 18 all. Out to the right. Mariner over halfway. Beats a tackle. 40 to go. 30 to go. Support infield. Gives the pass to Walsh, who gets through the last man, Dearden. And from their own line, the Broncos shift it right. That was what, play 2 off the kickoff? What a try. And the Broncos from nowhere will lead at halftime. That is Brisbane Broncos stuff. That brings a smile to the face of every Broncos fan. Wow.
That was absolutely outstanding from a yardage set, and it was really just setting her hands and shifting the ball to the right-hand edge. But certainly the run there from Mariner down that right-hand edge was tremendous. He found himself in space, and he challenged the Cowboys. He beat 2, perhaps 3 defenders down a narrow edge, and then ultimately fed the ball back inside to Walsh, who equally had to beat a couple to come up with a try on, what was 10 seconds to go before half-time. Half-time whistle is now gone.
Serves me right. I'd put the half-time score in my scrapbook after that last conversion. I thought, yep, 18 all. There'll just be a couple of tackles here. So they've scored basically twice in the last
4 minutes,
2 minutes of the half, and the Broncos are going to lead at half time, 22-18 with this conversion now for Walsh out on the right hand side, and he's now got 10 tries for the year as well, Reece Walsh, backing up to finish yet another highlight Broncos try. How's the kick? 25 metres out, 5 in from touch on the right to give Brisbane an unlikely lead at half-time. Missed it across the face. Well, it is already a lead, but by 4, not 6. That Walsh's first miss of the night. And that's the last play of what's been a topsy-turvy, high-energy first half of football here. Broncos 22, North Queensland 18. Bronx led 12-0 after 10 minutes. Braden Burns was in the bin after 7 minutes for running through the legs of Walsh when he was kicking. So Shibasaki the first try, Burns to the bin, Staggs the second try, 12-0 Bronx. But then Valamay on the quarter hour, Robson on 20 minutes, Clifford 5 minutes thereafter. Bang, bang, bang. 3 tries in 10 minutes for the Cowboys to go from 12-0 down to 18-0 up. And then as we've just seen in the last 2 minutes, Karapani over in the left corner. And then second play off the kickoff. There's a big shift to the right-hand side. Well, Haas had sort of put a few on the back foot with a 10-metre post-contact carry up to the 20. Shift to the right edge. Mariner with the line break, and in the end, Walsh backing up to score the try. 22-18, Grant Bell.
Yeah, no, it was certainly a half of swinging favours, and the Cowboys felt the wrath of a starting Broncos team that started very strongly. Their first 10 minutes was one where they controlled the ball, they controlled their opportunities, and they came up and they were sitting 2 tries ahead. But it wasn't to be after that first 10 minutes. The Cowboys showed that they were here and they were playing for their mates, perhaps playing for their coach, perhaps sending some of their assistant coaches off in the best possible way, and fought back to balance it out. And it really has been a game of swinging fortunes from that point on. And the Broncos, though, with two important tries on the back end of the half, very important.
Thought or two from Laurie Spooner before we go to the news.
Yeah, really exciting, like typical Bronco Cowboy games. Plenty of entertainment, that for sure, but this, I really thought the Cowboys were going to go in at least equal, but yeah, this Bronco side, they're so powerful and strong and fast. You give them an inch and they take a mile. I still give them a chance in this premiership when you got a player like Reece Walsh in the team, but yeah, really entertaining from this huge, big crowd, Q.
Good on you, Laurie. Laurie Spooner down on the touchline. Grant Bell next to me. It's Brisbane 22, North Queensland 18 at half-time. Earlier, Manly Warringah too good for St George Illawarra at Cogra. 40 points to 24 there. And Canberra earlier today at home sealing the Giltman Shield with a 24 points to 10 victory over the West Tigers. The first time in more than 3 decades that the Green Machine has claimed the minor premiership. Full-time score in the New South Wales Cup. The Bulldogs have beaten the Dragons 46 points to 10. Second half, North Sydney 24 lead the Eels 6. In the AFLW, it's into the third quarter. Hawthorn lead the Western Bulldogs by 3 points. NRLW today, if you missed it earlier on, Zahara Temera in extra time with a field goal saw the Raiders get over the Tigers 17-16. The Dragons beat the Warriors 26-18, and here the Roosters flogged the Cowboys 30 points to 0. But the storyline outside of the score was concern for star Rooster Isabel Kelly, who received an accidental elbow to the jaw, and we fear she has broken a jaw, and she was sort of seen sort of in pain on the ground and then taken from the ground. The trainers were sort of looking in the grass, perhaps looking for teeth. And she also had a moment where she fainted going up the race. She regained consciousness and they've sent her off to hospital. But that was just an accident. She was running back onside, very close to where the Cowboys ball carrier was running forward, and just in the motion of trying to break a tackle, the Cowboys ball carrier reefed her an elbow back and copped her right in the jaw, and that's done quite the damage, which might it has put a question mark over Kelly's continuation in this competition for the unbeaten premiership favourites. 22-18 Broncos over Cowboys, halftime here in Townsville. It's Saturday night footy on ABC Sport, which is back here in the north after a trip to the newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Eliza Getzi. The Australian government has signed a deal to pay Nauru hundreds of millions of dollars to resettle non-citizens. Political reporter Nicole Hegarty has more.
Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke and Nauru's President David Adiyang signed the Memorandum of Understanding during an untelegraphed trip to the Micronesian nation yesterday. Under the agreement, Australia will pay Nauru $408 million up front to resettle more than 350 members of the so-called NZYQ cohort. The group had been held in indefinite immigration detention in Australia, but were released after the High Court ruled the practice to be illegal in 2023. On top of the upfront payment, the Albanese government has agreed to continue to pay Nauru almost $70 million a year to cover ongoing resettlement costs.
The UK has barred Israeli government officials from attending the country's biggest arms fair over growing concern about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The British government said in a statement, the Israeli government's decision to further escalate its military operation in Gaza is wrong. The decision comes after Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced plans to recognise a Palestinian state unless Israel takes steps to end the crisis in Gaza, agrees to a ceasefire with Hamas and commits to a long-term peace agreement. The decision does not cover representatives of Israeli defence contractors who will be allowed to attend the DSEI UK exhibition scheduled for next month in London. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto is facing a major test as protests across the nation turn deadly. Larry Buttrose has the details.
Authorities say 3 people have died with 5 others injured after protesters set a regional parliament building alight in Makassar, the capital of South Sulawesi province. The Antara news agency says victims were trapped in the burning building and officials say at least 2 jumped from it. Protests began in the capital Jakarta this week over pay for MPs, escalating after a police vehicle killed the driver of a ride-hailing motorbike. Local media report isolated looting in Jakarta, as well as protests in the major cities of Bandung and Yogyakarta.
Rescuers in Pakistan are continuing to evacuate tens of thousands of people stranded by floods, with many left without food or medical supplies. The floods in the eastern Punjab province began on Monday when an abnormal amount of rain triggered sudden water releases from Indian dams. The rising floodwaters were the first to hit the region in 4 decades. Nearly 300,000 people have been evacuated from flood-hit areas and more than 1 million affected. Around 20 people have died in this week's floods, raising the nationwide death toll to 820 since flash floods in late June. Back home, police in northeast Victoria have taken advantage of a break in the weather as they continue their search for 56-year-old Desi Freeman, who's accused of shooting 2 police officers dead at his home earlier in the week. Erin Somerville has more from Porepunkah.
We've really seen some aerial search activities start to ramp up down the Buckland Valley area, just south of Porepunkah. We've also seen what appears to be a surveillance type of plane circling above the township at quite a high altitude. Earlier this morning, we also saw some drones take off, but the police here have actually been quite lucky. They've been hampered by really tough conditions with the weather since Tuesday. They've had a bit of a window with some sun and some blue skies today, despite severe weather warnings.
West Australian Labor Minister Matthew Swinburne says a coalition between the WA Liberal and National parties would not improve the opposition's standing. The Liberal and National parties had their annual state conferences today where the topic was on the agenda. Mr Swinburne says it won't matter if the opposition form a coalition.
Coalition, no coalition, they're not very well organised. They don't really seem to have a central theme about what they stand for, whether they're in a coalition or not. It's really a matter for them, but I don't think it's serving the West Australian people either way.
And the Sydney Roosters continue to dominate in the NRLW, beating the Cowboys 30-0 in Townsville. But their 9th straight victory was soured when captain Isabel Kelly left the field with a suspected broken jaw, putting her at risk of missing the finals. Earlier at Cogra, Tegan Berry starred for St George Illawarra in their 8-point win over the Warriors, and the Raiders beat the Tigers 17-16 in Golden Point, with Zahara Tamara celebrating her 50th match by slotting the winning field goal in Canberra. You're up to date with all the latest from ABC News. For more news at any time, head to abc.net.au/news or download the ABC Listen app.
Nocturnal Worlds. This podcast invites you into a world of relaxation and wonder. Search for the Nocturnal Worlds podcast on the ABC Listen app.
ABC sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
To the left, Reece Walsh gets through a tackle. He's on his knees and passes to Shibasaki, who goes in and scores untouched. Opening try, Broncos, in the opening couple of minutes. Now Smoothie, blindside right, Ben Hunt, short ball, Stags, through the gap, into the in goal. Second try for the Broncos. Beautiful pass from Ben Hunt. Robson comes into dummy half, sweeps it right for Did, into Drinkwater. Now Labert puts Ballamay over the corner. Cowboys do hit back on a simple through the hands right side shift. 12 points to 4 to Brisbane. Cowboys conversion attempt to come. Tamalolo plays it too shy under the dot. Robson dummies right, and then he ran his head into Tamalolo's back. Goes to score, referee says it's okay. I think the markers had moved so far that won't be ruled an obstruction. Ash Klein likes it straight up. Play to Robson, passes left for Dearden at the line. Flat ball and Nene tried a miracle ball out the back. It bounced. It's been taken by Clifford. He's gone in, and the referee says that's okay for a go-ahead try for North Queensland. Last play, Broncos to the left. Walters cut out for the edge. Beautiful pass, beautiful take, beautiful try. Josiah Karapani. Oh, he had to weave past the sliding defenders, and Karapani goes in the left corner for Brisbane with 2 minutes left in the first half. Now to the shift, it's 18 all, out to the right, Mariner over halfway, beats a tackle, 40 to go, 30 to go, support infield, gives the pass to Walsh, who gets through the last man, Dearden, and from their own line, the Broncos shift it right. That was what, play 2 off the kickoff? What a try!
ABC sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio,
And on the ABC Listen app.
On a night where the men from 2015 are celebrating 10 years since one of Rugby League's greatest grand finals, it was the highlight game in an era of probably one of the great NRL rivalries of recent times. North Queensland and Brisbane, particularly around that period, played some unbelievable games of footy. And tonight, well, the stakes are nowhere near as high, but certainly for Brisbane, they need to win to get inside the top 4. The Cowboys, well, they're welling the retiring Jordan McLean. The Roosters bound Reece Robson, trying to give up a co-captain in Ruben Cotter, a win in his milestone 100. And it's Brisbane leading 22-18 at half-time. Welcome back to Townsville. My name's Quentin Hull. Broncos with the first 2 tries, and then the Cowboys the next 3, and then 2 tries in the last couple of minutes in the half have given the Broncos the front foot here. And just to give you a little bit more context of what's at stake tonight, well, the Broncos have got 1 game left at home, and that's against the Melbourne Storm. It'll be on Thursday night. And after the Warriors were beaten by Parramatta last night, the Broncos will go to 4th should they win tonight. So they'll go to 4th. their for and against is far superior to the Warriors. They're at plus 22. The Broncos went into tonight's game at plus 148, so make it, plus 4, 152 now. So on the live ladder, the Broncos are fourth, which of course would give them a double chance in the finals. And we know that the Raiders are locked into top position, having claimed the JJ Gilpin and Shield for the minor premiership, beating the West Tigers 24 points to 10 in a somewhat lacklustre affair in Canberra today, albeit gorgeous conditions and a big crowd. It was sort of a weird old game of footy, but the Raiders did enough. Meanwhile, Manly Warringah too good for St George Illawarra, 40 points to 24. I'm calling alongside Grant Bell and Laurie Spina. The Broncos are back out on the field, and we keep saying it, Belly, but you get these games at the end of the season where sometimes they fall flat, sometimes the storyline is easy. Well, there are two teams getting ready for a finals appearance. Not the case for the Cowboys. They've got plenty of reasons to play with pride, and the Broncos, well, they've got so much at stake playing for the top four, and their old rivals playing with a bit of free will. It's ensured we've had 40 minutes of good footy so far.
And I think we're going to have another 40 minutes of equally inspiring and entertaining football with, as you say, one team, perhaps in some ways trying to defend a position and not do anything too rash and get themselves through, and another team saying we just want to play and finish off the season on a bang and get ready for our presentation midweek.
Dearden kicks off to start the second half. Haas will take the first carry 15 metres into the field of play, and then you sort of think of, well, if you're a team like the Broncos and do you dare get conservative? And then we see what Reece Walsh did. Gave a massive pass to the right and then was there to back up to help score an amazing try for the Broncos right on half-time. Here's Ben Tulty with the football. The Broncos are now running to the southern end. They're running away from the JT statue up to the 30. Here's that man Walsh, who seems to be getting by the week at the moment. Tackled 10 from halfway. Hetherington rolls up towards almost the middle of the park, just shy thereof when taken. End of the set. Pakes passes on to Ben Hunt, one of just two players playing tonight who played in that 2015 grand final. His bomb downfield is scored by Burns. Burns runs infield and is tackled shy of the 20. The other, of course, is Jason Taumalolo. Oh, to think where all those years have gone, that miracle pass from Morgan to Felt, the conversion which hits the post, and then the Ben Hunt drop infamously off the restart for Jonathan Thurston to immortalise himself with a Golden Point field goal. Penalty goes to North Queensland here. Crusher tackle on Zach Labert, and Ref Klein's just making sure that there was nothing too bad. I don't think anyone's going on report. Speaking of report, let's get Laurie's half-time report. Laurie Spinner down on the touchline. What news from the Sheds, Loz?
Yeah, Michael Maguire was pretty animated. He wants them to compete in every play. He's a little bit disappointed about a couple of soft tries, but they've got a lot to play for, and he really wants them to be desperate. And on the other side of the Shed, he was pretty happy for them to claw back when they were down, but he said the only tries they're making are from soft, just missed tackles, or one-on-one, so the reading is pretty happy.
Good on you, Laurie. Cowboys on the attack. McKaylee stopped 30 metres out now. Edwards on a rumble up to the 20. On the red stripe, slightly left-hand side, Robson dummies infield. Passes left, it's knocked on by Clifford. Oh, the pass was in front of Jake Clifford, and that's messy. That is messy, just as the Cowboys were getting into attacking position.
Yeah, and they had an opportunity down there on that their left-hand edge, coming up against Mariner and Staggs, but just a poor pass, poor execution. It's one of the things that's let the Cowboys down throughout the season. Just little things, little skills at critical times.
Angelo from Tweed, he likes the double derbies this week. As much as, well, this was always seen as the first of the Queensland derbies because these were the first two teams for a long time, and now we've got the Finns and the Titans playing tomorrow. Thanks, Angelo. 0467 920 222. Walsh to play the ball. Brisbane off that scrum. They're on their own 30. One man infield to Karapani. Scored a first half try. He's tackled 12 inside his own half. Plays the ball to Pakes. Given on to Tulty. Ben Tulty takes the tackle. His seventh game, but it's been impressive. It's looked like he's belonged. A mature age top grader. Plays it too shy of halfway. Now give it to Haas. Down the middle third, Payne Haas. Struggled a bit with the flu this week, and he stopped here, 41 metres out. Plays the ball to Pakes. Passes right for Ben Hunt. On the 40, he bombs at the end of the set. Drinkwater sets himself underneath it, catches it. Untroubled, 5 from his own line. He's tackled 10 metres from that southern end. Clifford gets into dummy half. Gives it on to Purdue. Still waiting for contract news from Jackson Purdue. We understand he's hanging around, but very talented player, yet to get the details of just what that looks like. Infield runs Burns. Burns to the 30. You'd be wanting to lock him up, wouldn't you, Billy?
Oh, absolutely. He's genuinely a talent. He's a North Queensland boy who I'm certain the club would like to keep him.
Bit of second phase here off an offload, and McKaylee gets up to halfway. So the Cowboys in the middle of the park as McKaylee plays it to Robson. Blindside shift to Clifford. Runs back infield. Takes contact. Keeps it alive. Offload to Drinkwater. Dummies past the 30. Gets taken. Pops it up to Cotter. The 100-gamer backs his way to within 15 metres of the goal line. Great play, Cowboys. Played to Robson. Pass right for Dearden. Grubber for the in-goal area. Taken by Walsh, who almost backs his way through the defence. Dearden eventually takes him 15 from the goal line. Geez, having a purple run of form at the moment. Reece Walsh, as Walters pops up a pass to Karapani. Stopped on the 30. At the moment, the percentages of rocks to diamonds are more sparkly than dud. He can mix those combinations, Belly. He was speaking about Reece Walsh and the way he plays his football. But, boy, he has stepped up in the absence of Adam Reynolds the last couple of weeks. Tolty's on halfway. Broncos lead 22-18. Ben Hunt gives it to namesake... it's Ricky on the right edge. He'll play it, 45 out. End of the set, blindside pass goes to Ben Hunt. Little kick in behind the line. It's a dribbler, which is taken eventually by Drinkwater. 10 from his own line, and Hetherington's there to tackle him.
Yeah, that was a terrific set. Much better. Last time the kick that Hunt put up was just a little bit too deep. It didn't allow for the Broncos' pressure to be on the receiver, but that time was just about perfect. The Broncos' defenders were down there, and Drinkwater had to clean up and had to clean up in a hurry.
Steve reminds us on the text, don't forget about the Sharks fighting for that top 4 as of tomorrow, should the Broncos lose. Well, they might not get the opportunity, because if the Broncos win, the Sharks, they'd have to win by about 80, I think. Or more than that. And I don't think that's going to happen to get them inside the top 4 tomorrow. Clifford from his 40. Boots downfield. It's taken 5 from the goal line by Walsh for the Broncos. 5 minutes into the second half as Walsh offloads it there to Mariner. Taken almost near the 20. Half-time score remains Broncos 22, Cowboys 18. The Stags with the ball. One man to the right of the ruck. Tackled 15 in from touch on the western side. Midway goal line and halfway. Played to Walsh, passes infield. Karapani's a little flat-footed there, can't really get going. Gets stopped, plays it on the 30. Pakes passes left for Shibasaki. A bit of room for him to rumble up to the 40 in his own half before Dearden makes the tackle. Shibasaki plays it. Pass left from Pakes to Walsh. Tries the cut-out pass. It's intercepted by Valame, who will sprint 40 metres and score! There's the rock. Oh, you count the diamonds, but there's a rock among them. Valame with the intercept. Cowboys level it up 22-all. And Semi was sweating on that like a sauna in summertime.
Yes, you've got all the lines tonight, Quentin. But, Valame was sitting up in the line there, and it was certainly very clear what he was looking to do and what he was looking to get to. And there was nobody who was going to stop him or get to him to stop him. And he shot away there, and as good as got under the post did Semi Valame to put the Cowboys back equal, but what will be back and in front in a very short space of time when Drinkwater has his easiest of kicks. But Walsh there, an unnecessary pass. I'm just not sure, as you said, the rocks and the diamonds. I'm not sure what he was...
Broncos fans are yelling at me as soon as I've given him a rap for more diamonds of late. And there it is. And Semi Valame, this is an interesting one, Loz. We're still waiting for contract news. I remember he burst on the scene, scoring multiple tries in his first game, and now, well, there's 2 tries tonight for him.
Yeah, he's going well. It wasn't an easy one to take too. He tipped it with his hands and just reached it again and sprinted away. But yeah, rocks and diamonds. That's a big Ayers rock, all right.
Drink water with the conversion. Cowboys in front, 24-22. Drinkwater with 4 from 4. He had a lot of work to do. Yeah, he did. Oh, these games. These Broncos-Cowboys games. I mean, the Broncos have dominated them of recent times. They've won their last 5 against North Queensland, but McLean retiring. Robson heading to the Roosters, 100th game for Cotter. Premiership heroes in the house having their 10-year reunion. Hold on. This could be one of those really good ones off the kickoff. Cowboys through Bateman up to the 20. No, it was Burns, should I say, and now it's in the hands of McKaylee. Thomas McKaylee, midway goal line and halfway. Oh, Nane's dropped the ball. Just to the left of the ruck, and then it's been picked up by the Broncos. Referee's happy enough to play go from there. Ricky's got it 40 metres out, so this gives the Broncos a chance on the mistake again. 30 metres out in the right to centre field as the Broncos offence just structures up. So Hetherington takes a settling tackle. 28 metres out as he plays the ball. Give it a Haas. Rolls down the middle third up to the red stripe. Centre Parkin, 20 from the Cowboys line. Cows lead it by 2. Pakes passes to the right. Ben Hunt does a little 360, gives it back to the left through Pakes. Passes to the edge for Walsh. He puts Shibasaki through. Rock, diamond, rock. There's another diamond. Shibasaki's in for a double. Another try assist for Reece Walsh, and the Broncos return to the lead.
A wonderful line from Shibasaki there, just really identified the space. It all came from the error from Jeremiah Nene. He cussed himself, and it opened up a chance for the Broncos, and they didn't need too much. And going forward again, it was a cutout pass, not dissimilar to the cutout pass, a little bit shorter than what he threw for the intercepts, but he just punched it across there, and Shibasaki ran a great line on the inside shoulder, and it opened up the opportunity for a try on the inside shoulder of the Cowboys. Right edge in Valamay, who's just scored and came up between Valamay and Labert. Laurie?
Yeah, one thing about this kid, he doesn't go into his shell after he makes an error, and that was a beautiful pass. And Shibasaki was running onto it, timing unbelievable. But yeah, every time I let aside, after you scored a try, the Cowboys aren't doing it. You get down, just take it up for 5 and kick it down the other end, made an error, and let the Broncos back in.
Yeah, so 26-24 to the Broncos. 29 minutes left in the game. Walsh getting the hoots as he sets up for this conversion attempt. 10 in from touch on the left. It hits the uprights and ricochets back into the field of play. Much to the joy of the pro-Cowboys crowd in the north. It's Quentin Hull, Laurie Spinner and Grant Bell with you. It's Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Broncos 26, Cowboys 24. Around the grounds in the second half, North Sydney headed for victory over the Eels. Billy will be happy. The Bears 42 lead the Eels 6. In the AFLW last quarter, Hawthorn lead the Western Bulldogs by 4 points. Broncos 26, Cowboys 24. So we've already had 9 tries in this game. 5 to the Bronx, 4 to the Cowboys. Restart to the goal line. Carrigan to take it back into the field of play for the Broncos. Reminding you that this is the Cowboys' last game. They've got a bye next week. And Brisbane finish its season at home against the Melbourne Storm on Thursday night. Infield runs Jaden Hunt to the 20. Now Haas rumbles up to the 30 before being put down by Robson. Quick play the ball. Pakes gives it off to Hetherington. Nene comes in to crash into him, makes the tackle with Bateman. Broncos 15 inside their own half. Pakes gives it off to Walsh. From inside the 40, kicks downfield at the end of the set. It won't threaten the touch line. It's trapped by Drinkwater as if he's a soccer junior learning his skills. Foot on top of the ball. And then he picks it up, runs it almost back to the 20 before being tackled. So the Cowboys will start this set deep at the southern end. Dearden feeds it one man infield to Valamay. Sammy Valamay with 2 tries tonight. Taken just beyond the 20 inside his own half. Plays the ball to Burns, who spent 10 minutes in the sin bin in the first half for attacking the legs of a Walsh kick. He's tackled beyond the 30. Plays there to Clifford. Given on to Purdue. Hasn't had much room to gallop tonight, Jackson Purdue. Stopped there, 10 inside his own half. Mind you, we haven't seen much grind tonight. It's been pretty much end-to-end stuff. McKaylee right edge of the ruck. Can't get to halfway. Last play called as he plays it still inside Cowboys territory. Clifford puts up a torpy downfield. Towering bomb. Well taken. Coming in to a dipping ball there. Is that Mariner? I think it was. Yeah, it was Dean Mariner on that right side. Up to the 30 on the kick returners. Now Staggs runs infield and has stopped 15 from halfway.
Yeah, there's nothing pleasant about a kick like that to have to take, and Dean Mariner did a terrific job. And one of the issues for the Cowboys, it wasn't that deep, so the Bronx now get a chance to restart their set midfield, and they're already on the halfway line.
Karapani's held up in a tackle, plays it now. Carrigan wants the ball off the shoulder of the dummy half. He gets crunched into 41 out. Last play for the Broncos. Ben Hunt from the 40 with a bomb which will come down 10 metres out. Drinkwater's all over it. Catches it comfortably and is eventually wrapped up and put to turf. 27 minutes left in the game. It's Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Brisbane 26. Lord lead North Queensland 24 in gorgeous warm conditions in the north. Burns with a run without great gain. Now Labour just beyond the 20 as the Cowboys in this blue strip which has got fluorescent lime trim. It really does look like something out of Laser Force or something might have gotten a show bag at the Ekka. Anyway.
Or a Raiders jumper.
Well... What, as in, not Canberra Raiders?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, through time there's been...
Well, I know they had their blue over the years, but it's sort of a different one. Anyway, we'll leave the fashion for later, Belly. Here's the kick from Drinkwater at the end of the set. It's a bomb. Walsh waits and catches despite the efforts of Clifford to steal it. And he gives a pass, which is knocked on by Shibasaki. Did not need to give that pass. He passed it at Shibasaki's shins. That was a great catch from Walsh. And then he backed his way into the tackle it did and then chucked it out the back. Put his teammate under pressure. Oh, no, actually it wasn't at his shins. It was a pretty bad drop from Shib.
It was a pretty fair pass.
Yeah.
Unnecessary, but a pretty fair pass. There you go. You get a good look at that jersey now.
Yeah.
Looks much better close up.
Roar from the crowd. Big Jason Tamalolo come on for his second stint.
Good on you, Loz. Cowboys 15 out. One man to the right for Labour. Good tackle. Shibasaki cuts him down. Broncos lead 26-24. Past the centre field, Dearden onto Edwards. And Harry Edwards with a straightening run. He's taken 12 metres from the goal line, slightly right of the uprights. Plays it there to Robson. Give it to Tamalolo. There he is. He's rumbling down the middle. Charges into the defence. Smoothie there to stop him. 8 metres out. Play to Robson. Passes right for Dearden. Second man Drinkwater to the right. Pass to Labour. Nice tackle from the Broncos left defence. That's Karapani and Shibasaki. Out of dummy half. Drinkwater runs blindside right. Goes himself and he's held up and stopped. That's 5. Last play. Quick play the ball. Bateman has to chuck it infield to Dearden. Chips laterally across the 10. Taken by Clifford. Hot potato. Keeps it alive to Tamalolo. He gave it out the back pass. A Gidley flick to himself. Gathers it. Chucks it out the back. Clifford regathers. They're on the 30. Gives it to the right to Dearden. Now onto Labour. Chip in behind. Taken by Walsh. Bronx have got it. Walsh bounces off 1. Tries to step through a second. He's kept alive. Cotter says, nah. Enough of that. I'll tackle you. Play the ball. Broncos 15 from their own line.
Some desperation there from the Cowboys, shifting the ball all over the place. Pass here, pass there, and none particularly successful in the end. The best result was that they survived it.
Cowboys' right side defence seems to have been permanently short-staffed for weeks. I don't understand it, says Nigel from Cairns. Mistake from the Broncos.
The Katoni Stag?
Yeah. Challenge, though. Let's tune into referee Ashley Klein.
Here from the Broncos. Just being the decision of a knock-on. They believe the ball was stripped. Previous tackle was free.
So the ball is on the Broncos 30-metre line. 26-24 the scoreline to Brisbane. And now all eyes on the big screen.
There's no stripping action from the Cowboys. Katoni loses the ball into the arm of the Cowboy, which is a knock-on. The challenge is unsuccessful.
It's Chris Butler in the bunker. By the way, on the touchline tonight, I better give a shout out to Drew Altram from Newcastle. He's officiating in a milestone game for him tonight. So got a heads up from Glenn Lauder saying that it's a 200th for Drew Altram. His dad Mick still referees in Newcastle. His mum Melissa are well known in the region. So congratulations. Speaking of milestones, so yeah, hope he has a good night. Cowboys have got it. 30 metres from the Broncos line. That challenge is burnt, so there are no challenges left now for either team. Cowboys trail by 2. They're on the attack. Tamalolo to the right on the 20. Gives it on to Deard and then to Bateman. And John Bateman's taken down. The Cowboys are 20 in from touch on the right and 12 metres out. Ball passed back to centre field for Dearden. Offers it up to Tamalolo on a midfield rumble. He's met there by the Broncos defence led by Haas and put down. Play to Lawton who's out there. To the left, Clifton to Drinkwater. Grubber for the in-goal area. Taken brilliantly by Ben Hunt.
That was sharp hands from Hunt.
It was a little bobbling ball and he did a really good job, Belly, to stop that as the Bronx have got it through Stags. It doesn't from their own line.
Yeah, no, very important. And those little things, yeah, albeit there's 20 minutes to go, there's 2 minutes difference in here, and we're certainly going to see some more points scored in this game. And the little things like that are so important. Equally, the little errors and not allowing that ball to turn over.
22 and a half minutes left in the game. Broncos on their own 30. Carrigan through the hands, shifted to the left. Walters to Walsh. Dummy and took the tackle. Passes to Shibasaki. Sets him away. He draws the fullback. Passes forward infield. Ref Klein was there. Must have thought it was backwards out of the hand. He was in perfect position. Walters is backing up and scores the try. Well, that's an interesting one because it was in line with us too, Billy.
Yeah, I thought it was forward.
So did I. But the referee was right in line with us, wasn't he? He couldn't have been in a better position, Ashley Klein. That is a try to the Broncos. It's 30-24, kick to come. Well, the replay will be interesting looking, Belly. It's hard when you're calling. You just got to try and, call everything with due credit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shocker from Ash Klein, to be honest.
Well, it's really forward.
That is a shocker.
You can hear the crowd.
I mean, I don't want to be one of those negative Nancy's when you're in play and it's a good. You want to call the good, but you can only call what you see. And immediately that came out of the hands, I thought, well, the referee's in line. He should call the pass.
Yeah.
And it's happened so quickly, and you sort of think, well, have I misjudged that because it's momentum's taken it forward?
Yeah. And there's no moment. Even the direction of his hands as he threw it were forward. You could see it there in the replay, the close-up replay, the direction of his hands. And again, it's not about pulling things apart or being very negative about it.
You just got to call it as you see it.
It was a well-constructed try, and there was no reason for Shibasaki to mess it up. He had 3 supports.
Oh, my word.
2 on his inside.
So he threw the pass 2 metres before the red stripe of the 20. Walters caught it a metre beyond the red stripe of the 20. Listen to the crowds vote in Townsville.
I've always wondered how they can't rule on a forward pass, but they can rule on whether someone's in front of the kicker.
Walsh with the conversion attempt. He raises the flags. Have salt, pour into wound. 32-24. Laurie on the touchline. Still 21 minutes of this left.
Yeah, forward a metre, but I just want to go back to the play that Walsh did. Beautiful dummy. Threw one-hander off to Shibasaki. Yeah, why he threw that pass. Thought he did so many. He could pass it back all the time, but yeah, he should have called that one up. But Walsh, just give him credit. He might make an error, but he doesn't daunt on it. He just goes forward, and yeah, he's playing magnificent football. He's a chance for playing well in the finals, that's for sure.
That was a very clever pass, Laurie, and it's easy to understate how clever the pass was.
Yep. And again, the referee was in line to make the call. That, I think, is the disappointing thing about it. The referee has probably judged that was out of the hand and backwards, which
the hands went forward.
It seems
hands very
that was, we're all human, but Ref Klein's made a mistake there, unfortunately, for the Cowboys and for the Sharks and for the Warriors and all of those teams that don't want the Broncos to do well tonight. 32-24 the scoreline off the restart. Couple of plays upfield. Carrigan 5 from halfway, plays the ball. Now Ben Hunt with a little chip in behind the line. He kicks it at the end of the set. Drinkwater gathers. Defensive left corner on his 10 and is taken about a dozen from the goal line.
What
at
a great
the southern end.
defensive chase line it was too.
And this is where we'll see just Ben Hunt there, not trying to do anything fancy with the kick.
Just manage the game.
Yep, put it into the corner. Purdue passes right for Dearden. The Cowboys aren't going to die wondering. Pass to the edge from Labert. Nice tackle, Walters, around his ankles. And now Labert's down and hurt. He accidentally ran into Carrigan's knee, I think. Referee says play it. Come on. He's up and okay. And he does.
Quite okay, but he did get up.
A little bit dazed.
I think it was his leg. I think you were right with the call that it was his leg.
Oh, we're getting plenty of texts about the pass. Thank you, 0467920222. I love getting your texts. I'm loath to try and read them out in this game at the moment, not because of their quality, just because so much is happening in the game. But no doubt we will get to them when we can. Thank you. Clifford kicks downfield. It's caught by the Broncos Mariner, 10 from his own line. While I've got a chance, Laurie, to take a breath, it's one of those games you can't stop, really. There's something happening at either end.
End to end. That's not a lot of stoppages, and yeah, that's what the crowd love with these games against Broncos and Cowboys. A lot of action.
On the 20 at the Broncos end. Staggs plays it. Now out of dummy half. Strong run from Marin. 15 metres down the western touchline before Purdue makes the tackle. Plays the ball there to Smoothie. Gives it on to Karapani. And he's taken near the NRL logo on halfway western side. End of the set. Given to Walsh. Walsh from halfway kicks a bomb downfield. Drinkwater just has to shuffle to settle himself to catch. 5 from his own line. Palms off 1 and 2 running laterally. Walters brings him down. And the kick return went across field, but still only 11 from the goal line. Dummy half did and picks up, decides to go for a run at himself. Pops a little pass to Labert, but Labert is tackled midway goal line and halfway out in the right edge. Pays it to the blonde-headed co-captain. Give it to Valamay infield, who's already got 2 tries tonight. He's tackled a dozen from halfway. Brisbane lead the game 32-24. There's 18 minutes left. It's Saturday night frenetic footy on ABC Sport live from Townsville as Rob's Cotter, the 100-gamer, up to halfway. Plays the ball there. Lawton passes right for Dearden. Given on to Drinkwater. Dummy straightens. Dragged down by the tackle of Piakura. And the ball is played on the last out in the right 45 from the Broncos line. Dearden puts a bomb to the skies. It'll come down 15 metres out. Ricochets off players. Ends up in the hands of Karapani. It was Walsh and Bateman jumping. Ref says play on. Karapani runs infield and is stopped just beyond the 20.
Yeah, called it backwards. It was certainly a challenging bomb and one of the more challenging kicks that we've seen from Dearden, testing out the Broncos players at the back there and looking for an opportunity for the Cows. Not there and cleaned up by the Bronx.
Oh, pass went along the ground before Ricky picked it up on his own 20. In the end, it's not such a bad gain. Ricky up to the 30 before being stopped. 17 minutes to go. Brisbane 32, North Queensland 24. Brisbane win this. They are inside the top 4 tonight. Ball to be played here by Hetherington after a run. He's 5 from halfway. Now to the left. Carrigan dummies. Runs into Bateman. Bateman holds on, but Carrigan gets an offload out the back to Haas. Had to run backwards a bit. Now gets momentum. Runs laterally. Haas is going to be eventually... Oh, no, he popped the pass out the back. Kept alive. Walsh has got it. Passed it to Staggs. Staggs knocked it on. Well, the Broncos are playing hot potato footy as well. And they've made the mistake on the right edge, Grant Bell.
And probably don't need to at this stage. They're in a position where they can really play quite comfortably, and a miscommunication there between Walsh and Staggs. Staggs starting to cut back inside, and Walsh passed for him to stay on the outside. A little knock on there, and the Cowboys out of trouble.
16 minutes left in the game. Clifford to feed the scrum. 30 from the Cowboys line at the southern end. Long pass to centre field for Dearden and gives it on to Bateman. And Bateman is going to be put on his back as much as it's the last game for the season for the Cowboys. Hold down Broncos, penalty North Queensland. Drinkwater has a tap and go. He runs over halfway, Drinkwater, before being stopped. Nice tackle around the ankles made by Walters, 41 out, played to Lawton. They're backpedaling the Broncos defence, so Lawton has another gain of 10 metres, and the Cowboys are up to within 30 of the line. Played to Drinkwater, given to centre field for Cotter. Cotter puts a little step on Smoothie, can't get past him. Smoothie makes the tackle. Broncos lead it by 8. Cowboys on the charge. Here's the rumbling Tomalolo down the middle third. 15 out centre field when taken. Will play the ball to Lawton. Passes left for McLean, the retiring man from the young cherry pickers. He's taken only 8 metres out, just to the left of the uprights. Last play. Lawton to the right for Dearden. Through the hands, Drinkwater. He now chips for the right edge. Labert leaps and catches, keeps it alive out the back, but it's taken by Shibasaki of the Bronx, and he's tackled on his own 10.
Yes, flicked it out and now giving away a penalty. The Cowboys just controlling the tackle. Dearden caught holding on too long, but Shibasaki did very well to skirt away from the contest around the football.
32-24, Brisbane lead. They led 22-18 at half-time.
I don't know what you boys think, but Reynolds, his hamstring, I don't know, do you bring up a fella who's carrying a hamstring injury, 36 years old with Hunt? He's played some really good football the last couple of weeks. I don't know if I'd change him.
Well, he's Adam Reynolds. Loz? Yeah, I think he'll be playing as soon as he's physically fit to do so, but had a setback with his hamstring this week. Piakura has misplayed the ball on halfway, just as the Broncos were starting to rumble downfield and get into attacking position. Yeah, if you missed that news, so Adam Reynolds was named in the 22 this week and was expected to travel and potentially play tonight, but suffered another mishap with his hamstring at training this week.
Just didn't get, so it wasn't my understanding was it was reported as a mishap, but it was actually whilst they were doing some tests to check how secure it was and how stable he was, he didn't come short so well, so right, scratched.
Not going to come north, no. 13 minutes to go. 8 points to lead to the Broncos. Here come the Cowboys. Clifford left side up to the 20. Passes on to Purdue, who's taken down by the tackle of Staggs. Plays it to Clifford, passes infield to Lawton. There's plenty of points left in this one, folks. Don't go anywhere. Dearden to the right, gives to Drinkwater. Passes to the infield run of Labert, who's done really well tonight. Been lively coming into the team. He's taken centre park and 19 metres out. Played to Lawton at dummy half. Passes right for Tamalolo. He eyes Ben Hunt, charges at him. The two that played in the 2015 GF square off. Pass goes out the back, picked up by Lawton. Give it to Dearden. Dearden right edge. He's still keeping the ball alive. Pass to Ballamay. Passes back infield to Labert. Passes back to Lawton. They're on the 20 now. To Drinkwater. From right to left. Clifford with the grubber. Here comes Nene. Nene! Nene scores! Joy in the north for Jeremiah Nene.
Adjacent to the post.
Wow. It'll be 2 the difference in a moment. It's 32-28.
And as good as the kick from Clifford was, that wasn't really the play here. The play was started from Jason Taumalolo with a pass out the back, and then a Cowboys team, including their captain, Tommy Dearden, determined to keep the ball alive, to move the ball around, and his teammates did exactly that. And it was the passing game and the shift around before the ball became an opportunity for a grubber from Clifford, and then it was a fight between Nene and Staggs to get to the ball, and that in itself was a great little tussle there. And
the bounce just was a bit devilish for Katoni Staggs. He was in the right spot, Staggs, but then the ball sort of bounced at his back just at the moment that Nene was arriving, facing the ball. So he was positionally pretty good, Katoni Staggs, but the footy just made a bit of a fool of him.
But then Nene had to make sure he cleared Staggs and ground the ball before the dead ball line. So plenty in that one, and the Cowboys now still waiting for the clearance.
Oh, hold on. Ash Klein, is it okay? Yeah, it's confirmed. For a moment I was concerned that...
Yeah, it seemed to be taking a very long time, and to allow Drinky to kick the goal.
Slightly left of the uprights.
Is he still waiting?
Well, yeah, he is still waiting. Making sure that there was no, knock on from Nene into Staggs as he took that. That's what they're checking. Did he touch it and
maybe he touched it
and it bounced off Staggs' shoulder? No, I think now Drinkwater's lining up for the kick. So it's been ratified. No, it's not. No.
From Jeremiah Nanai.
It's a long time.
His hand touching the ball and then touching the arm.
Yeah, and I think they're right, you know.
So at this point here, Jeremiah Nanai is touching the ball. His hand comes on it, comes off the ball, and it touches Cantoni Staggs, which is in front. This is a knock-on. We have a decision.
No try.
No try. After all of the build-up, it was some of their best work, Quentin.
Oh.
And it's going to be no try.
Listen to the response here. No try is semaphore on the big screen at the JT end.
Especially after they saw that forward pass before.
Yep. So, and now there's a shot of Todd Payton exasperated on the big screen. So wind that back. What does that mean? 32-24. 32-24 Broncos. 8 still the lead for Brisbane. No try to Jeremiah Nene. Scrapbook messy with scratch outs everywhere because you write things down and then you got to...
You think you're there?
Yeah, 12 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Okay. I think they got that right.
I think it was right. But it's disappointing, as you say, when it comes on the back of the forward pass for the last try.
Yeah.
It hurts a lot more.
So Sharks fans don't like it. Warriors fans don't like it. They're the ones that are sort of also cheering for the Cowboys tonight for their prospects of trying to get inside the top 4. Brisbane running it upfield up to the 30 on the carry there of Jensen, the ex-Cowboy. Plays it there to Smoothie, given left for Walters, a dummy and straight, and great tackle. Lawton cuts him down from behind on halfway. It's played there to Smoothie. Runs out a dummy half. His pass to the left is knocked on by Labert. He realised there was danger there, Zach Labert, so tried a very optimistic intercept. It only knocked on, but still it saved what could have been a line break down the left side. So 32-24, Brisbane lead North Queensland. It's Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. My name's Quentin Harlem alongside Grant Bell and Laurie Spina. Your texts continue to flow in on 0467920222. Thank you. There's just so much footy going on in this one. Mike reckons it doesn't matter if the Broncos form, they'll be out in straight sets anyway. I don't know, Mike. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either.
Steve from Coolawong in New South Wales says this is ridiculous. Along your lines, Loz, a forward pass, they get away with it and then they deny the try anyway. Broncos on the attack here. Importantly, they could seal it here. Reece Walsh is doing his dancing thing, looking like he's going to break ankles. About 20 metres out, eventually Bateman stops him. 15 metres out. Bronx by 8, they score here. They'll be hard to run down. Haas on a straightening run. Payne, Haas still going. He is a wrecking ball. He is a Broncos machine, which scores at the southern end. And that might seal the top 4 for tonight for the Bronx. He's in under the dot, Big Payne. No one could stop the man charging to the southern end. And that's 36-24 kick to come.
Yeah, straight under the post, you'll expect that it'll go to 38-24 and may well be a bridge too far. With 10 minutes to go, it'll be 3 scores that are required.
Oh, Payne Haas doesn't score too many tries, but they're pretty spectacular when he goes in. That's just his 3rd of the season.
If I remember correctly, I think he scored one of those like that in the first round.
Against the Roosters.
Oh, it was against the Cowboys.
Might have been.
I think he scored one.
Oh, as in...
Yeah, you might be right.
I will check. I can tell you in a turn of the page's time, Loz. He did score a try in the round 3 game.
He pushed a few blokes similar to that one, but it was about 30 metres out. Yeah, I remember.
See, I've got my scrapbook. You've got your memory loss. Good. That's very good teamwork. Walsh from straight in front converts to try.
Right.
38-24. That'll be just about it, you'd think. There's 9 minutes and 15 seconds left. 14 points is the lead for Brisbane.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was that really hurts, and they certainly hurt on the back of losing a try, then down the pitch. Payne Haas, they really contained him quite well tonight. He hasn't made the metres and the runs, but when you have a run like that and a try under the post from it, it makes up for all the others that were missing.
He's so big and so mobile for a big man, isn't he?
His ability to go sideways is just freakish.
Short restart. Cowboys get it back. Bateman's picked it up. I think there was a double knock. Oh, high tackle. Oh, high tackle, and this might flare up. Hold on. Bateman gets up. And, he wants to have a chat to Billy Walters. He's not happy about that tackle. And there's an ad on the big screen instead of a replay.
Replay timing is everything.
Report disruptive and antisocial behaviour to stadium staff. Phone or via text. Okay.
So do we report Billy Walters for the high tackle?
Oh, no, we report... Billy. Anyway, did it go on report? They eventually showed the replay. We'll have to double check that. Cowboys have got the ball. Back to the game. Tamalolo is 30 metres out as he plays it. Dearden on the right edge. It's not beyond this game to see the Cowboys score 14 points in 8.5 minutes, but they'll have to start right now. They're on the attack, 25 out. Jordan McLean in his 242nd and last game in the NRL. He's standing there, the big man. He's going to play at 22 out. Played to Lawton, pass left through Dearden. On to Clifford. At the line, Drinkwater. Overlap, Purdue taps it on. Burns to the 10. Defence shifts. Great tackle, Ben Hunt to stop him. 5 metres out.
Tremendous tackle.
Awesome play. Purdue passes infield to Clifford. Gives it on to Drinkwater. Back to right. And centre field, Tamalolo straightens. But the hole closes on the tackle of Piakura. Play to Lawton. Passes left for Clifford. Passes back to Purdue. It's the last. They're running it. Staggs wraps him up, ball and all. Hand over. And the Broncos will get the footy at the end of a great set. Benny Hunt with another little gem there. Great tackle.
Certainly was.
Couple of plays earlier.
And something they haven't explored, and I thought they might have done there, is that little dinking kick for Jeremiah Nene down on this side of the field. I thought they could have looked for that as an opportunity. But it was a great set of hands from Jackson Purdue before to try and put Burns away down the edge.
7 tries to 4. 38 points to 24 for Brisbane. Over North Queensland, 7 minutes left in Townsville as the Broncos are on the brink of a 6th straight win over their northern rivals. Hunt plays the ball. That's Ben, now Haas again. Down the middle, third, Payne Haas. He's got Cotter and Bateman and Tamalolo around him to stop him. Eventually, Haas to play it just inside Broncos territory. Smoothie passes left for Walsh. Puts up a towering midfield torpy. It's well caught, though, brilliantly by Burns coming forward. He's up to the 30 and gets stopped. That's a kind of kick that
comfortably did he catch that?
Yeah, and it was called one of those Burton type kicks too.
Yeah, and curls away and it dips away from you. He really is a very much improved player this season, Loz.
Cowboys, it's the last ride of the Cowboys in 2025 and the last ride of this man, Jordan McLean. I'll keep singing his praise. Just one of the tragedies of his career is that he got picked at 30 years of age to play for New South Wales, only to do a hamstring before he could pull on that New South Wales jersey, having played for Australia for 8 occasions. It's one of those weird sort of trivia questions. Clifford with a bomb at the end of the set. Walsh, he catches it and then runs out of play. That's a weird play. Momentum took him over the touchline, having caught it a metre in the field of play.
He probably had to catch it, You never know where it's going to bounce and go. It was always going to bounce infield.
You know what he looked like? For a moment, he looked like he was playing rugby union and wanted to call the mark by claiming it on the full inside the 22. That'll be all right here this time next week. By the way, Joe Schmidt was on my flight up today. The Wallabies coach is here.
Here we go.
There's the Broncos right side defence gets in the face of Clifford. There was a little left side shift there, but Clifford is tackled. A little over 5 minutes to go. Played to Drinkwater, given to Dearden, through McLean, to Bateman. He's got defenders in front of him. Bateman so runs back the other direction. He now passes to Clifford on the left edge to Nene. Dummy give Purdue through the hands to Burns. Nice finish. Puts a little spin move on Karapani to plant the ball.
Lovely hands across the pitch there.
He sort of put his back towards Karapani, and then that opened up the touchline and the goal and the corner post. So he planted it down there. So that's a try. 38-28. Kick to come.
Yeah, no, just lovely sets of hands there again, and they've gone back to where they almost scored there previously, and it was good hands. But as you say, Braden Burns.
Braden Burns played here a lot of years ago. That's going back.
Braden Burns there, just with his little hit and spin, held up the defence and allowed him to plant the ball inside. But good set of hands.
Drinkwater converts from the touchline. Hold on. What have we got? 38-30. 4 minutes 48 seconds left. Oh, Loz never fails to please this one, does it?
Yeah, I don't think they'll quite get there. But yeah, the Cowboys again scored some beautiful tries. Just their errors at bad times, and defensively they fell short this year. They're going to be a couple of games short of the semis. But yeah, they've tried hard tonight, but just going to fall a little bit short.
Yeah, so back to that. I saw the Wallabies are playing Argentina here. I think Joe Schmidt went to some local rugby today, so he was on my flight up from Brisbane earlier today.
The Townsville Grand Finals in rugby were on just all day today.
Yeah.
And tomorrow. So they're out there. Going to have a bit of a look and talk at half time of one of the main games.
Walsh with the kickoff. I think he slipped a bit. Anyway, it bounces 10 from the goal line, given to Cotter, and Cotter is taken 11 metres from the Cowboys line. So they've got to roll the dice here. They've got to do everything, the Cowboys. Jordan McLean, he's taken beyond the 20. He's had a huge night tonight. The retiring Melbourne Premiership player. Tamalolo almost to the 30. Timepiece ticking. 4 minutes 20 and counting. Broncos by 8. Inside the top 4 as we speak. Dearden to the right. Men in motion. Drinkwater gives it on to Valamay. He taken down there by Walters out on the right. And the Cowboys play it 5 in from touch on the eastern side. Passing field goes along the ground. Eventually cleaned up by McLean. Gave to Drinkwater. Drinkwater says, I took a touch as I passed it to Bateman. Bateman's pass is almost intercepted by Staggs, but he knocked it on in doing so.
But yeah, I tell you what, if he intercepted that, he was on his way to the try line, Tony Staggs. 3 minutes 44 seconds remaining. 8 points is the score required.
Sandstorm, Darude, good song.
I don't think Michael Maguire will be doing cartwheels with this effort. A little bit defensive. We've got to work on that through the week, I'm sure of that.
Cowboys shift it right. Drinkwater's going to be dragged down 15 from halfway. 3.5 to go. Broncos lead by 8. Cowboys, though, they're just keeping us on the edge of our seats at least for the next 90 seconds, or at least this set. Cotter is taken down in game 100, 15 inside his own half. 8 the lead to the Broncos. McLean with another run down the middle third. I reckon this is easily his best meter-reading game of the season. Plays the ball there to Lawton. Given a right shot on Tamalolo. Then to Dearden. Right side shift across halfway. On to Drinkwater. Drinkwater's pass there to Lawton. He's tackled him, and it was Labour tackled immediately. Plays it to Lawton. Gives it on to Tamalolo. Rolls down the middle 30. Stopped on 5, 42 metres out. Something's got to happen now for the Cowboys. It's Clifford with a bomb. It's high. Will come down about 15 metres out, and Walsh catches it for Brisbane. Bounces up. Slips one way. Gets going. Passes to Shibasaki up to the 30. His pass puts Karapani down the wing. Great cover defence though. Bateman coming across to make the tackle with the Broncos on the 40. Now Walsh running infield. Straightening run, and Walsh has tackled only 30 metres out. The Broncos might get another late try here. As Walsh plays the football, Smoothie passes to Carrigan, gives it to Hetherington. On a straightening run and tackle 20 metres from the goal line. Centre field, plays it to Smoothie. Passes right for Carrigan, at the line, short ball Ricky, through a tackle, past the fullback, but, oh no, held up, the fullback came at him again, Drinkwater, got some help, goal line try saver. Over the line, held up, out to the 10, what a play the ball.
Tackle there from Drinkwater.
I thought he was done.
Yeah, well and truly.
So now Ricky plays the ball. Smoothie passes left for Carrigan. Flatline run, Hetherington. Good tackle. Bateman and Dearden stop him. That's 5. Last play, Broncos 6 metres out. Smoothie on to Piakura, who'll die with the ball on 6. Handover. 90 seconds left. Brisbane 38, North Queensland 30. And Broncos fans, if you can beat Melbourne at home next week, you'll be secured of the double chance. But that's a pretty big if of recent times. Only that finals victory en route to the GF in 2023 has really been the dominant performance from a Broncos team over the Storm of recent times. The Storm have generally had such a good record against the Bronx, and now, well, the Sharks, they'll of course try and do their thing tomorrow to stay in the fight. And the Warriors, of course, well, they've got to play the Seagulls at Brookvale next week. Cowboys have got the ball. Let's see this one out, though. We'll go through all of the ladder permutations and the news of the day and your thoughts. 0467920222. Cowboys chuck it to the left. Nene gives it on to Purdue. Purdue up to halfway, keeps it alive, passes infield to Drinkwater. Can't get through Staggs. The pass goes to Deck. Picked up by the Broncos. Ben Hunt's got it. He gives it off there to Mariner. Mariner's tackled. And there's only 30 seconds left in this one. It will be a 6th straight win for Brisbane over North Queensland. And the Cowboys will finish their season with only 9 wins and a draw and 13 losses. It'll be the 14th win for the Bronx with 1 to play. Staggs right edge, runs into the tackle of Nene, who does well to hold him up with some help from Purdue. But the timepiece counts down in Townsville, and the Broncos take possession of a spot in the top 4 with 1 game to play. Game over. Season over for the Cowboys. The Broncos win it 38 points to 30. Brisbane 38, North Queensland 30. Shibasaki scored 2 tries. Tries to Karapani, Walsh, Staggs, Walters and Haas. While for the Cowboys, Valame, Robson and Clifford scored first half tries. Valame made it a double, scoring in the second half. Burns scored as well. It was 22-18 to the Broncos at half-time, and it finished 38 points to 30. Walsh kicked 5 goals from 7 attempts, and Drinkwater 5 from 5. Stay close. We've got Laurie Spina's interviews on the touchline, and well, I don't think the boys will mind. Just a nice seat in the box. We often talk about the coach being close at hand to our broadcast box here. Michael Maguire's just come in to say g'day to our own Grant Bell. Trent Barrett and Matty Ballin there as well, just seeing how Belly's going with the recovery with his new leg. Oh, he's getting some good oil as well. Great to see the camaraderie still existing. That's the great thing about rugby league. Good on your Madge for coming in. Well, you don't want to get on the cans, do you, and give us a full-time update? Oh, no, that's pushing it too far. He's gone downstairs, but he's smiling, Felly. That was nice that he came to say good day to you. You know, they can only say no. They can only say no.
Exactly. No, a couple of boys that I coached, Madge and Matty Ballon, coming in to say good day and see how I was with my new leg. So it was great to see them and nice for them to come in.
After all that, I'm not paying attention whatsoever to where Laurie Spina is. Are you ready, Loz? Yes, down to you.
Billy, when Reynolds went down, all the experts said, that'd be it for the Broncos, but yeah, certainly not the case.
Yeah, look, it's been a bit scrappy the last couple of weeks in patches. We definitely leaked way too many points tonight, but in our defence, Cowboys are a very good attacking team, so we'll tidy up a few things. I thought they got a few lucky tries, and we probably got a few lucky calls, but we'll take the 2 points and march on to next week.
You yourself, personally, I think you have had a really good year. It doesn't matter where Madge throws you, you play really well. You enjoying that?
Yeah, just loving playing footy. You know, you can't take this for granted, playing for the Broncos or playing NRL, and I'm just enjoying every moment. I'm getting the wrong side of 30 now, and so I'm just trying to enjoy every game that I'm out here in every minute.
Benny Hunt, 351 games. He's going strong too, making good partnership.
Yeah, he's obviously making my job a lot easier. He's a very experienced player, and he's done all the big games and all the big occasions, so he's really good to have in our team, and he's good to guide us around.
Probably fair enough if you got to work on a little bit more defensively. Probably the Cowboys scored a few too many tries tonight.
Yeah, for sure. You can't be leaking. I think it was 30 points. You can't be leaking that coming into finals. But we've got a good test next week against the Storm, and they're going to be bounced back after their loss last night. They're going to be pretty fired up, so hopefully it's a good game at Suncorp and we can tighten our defence up.
Top 4 is pretty important, or do you think you can do it from anywhere?
Yeah, you got to believe that you can do it from anywhere. I feel like this year there's a lot of teams in that bottom 4. It's a bit different this year in the competition. I feel like there's a lot of teams outside that top 4 that can definitely win the comp or push for it. So, you know, we're in there. That's all that matters. And hopefully, if we finish top 4, it gives us two bites of the cherry. But yeah, we'll be right.
Appreciate your time on ABC Sport.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Well done, Laurie, and thank you to Billy Walters. He has been such a valuable player for the Broncos in 2025. 38-30, the final score. Well, stay close to Laurie, and your texts are pouring in. Keep them coming on 0467 920 222. So the Wars outside the top 4 now because the Broncos for and against is now plus 156. The Warriors have won just as many games, but their for and against is plus 22. And the Sharks, well, they are basically, well, they're 89 points inferior with their for and against to the Broncos. So they're plus 67. So if they win tomorrow, the Sharks, over the Knights, they will go to 5th. And the Warriors, after, well, so many thought that they maybe got a tough call late last night against Parramatta, they're not only out of the top 4, they could slip down to 6th. Back down to a man who has played for the Young Cherry Pickers, the Melbourne Storm, the North Queensland Cowboys and the Kangaroos with pride, Laurie Spina.
Jordan McLean here with his 3 beautiful boys from the Young Cherry Pickers to now. Give us some highlights.
I don't know. There's been a few, mate. I don't want to say the one that's obvious because it was against the colour I'm wearing, but there's been many highlights. Obviously, everyone talks about their debut was one of the massive highlights. Small country town boy and managed to make it to the top of the game, so I'm very privileged and lucky.
You've been so valuable for the Cowboys. Not a lot of injuries and led from the front all the way. I'm sure you'll have great memories here.
Yeah, a heap of great memories. I just feel really lucky, mate. I played alongside some really good players. I consider myself just a battler front row that just tried to do his job, but you know, I played along some really, really good players, and I just feel, mate, just gratitude that I got the opportunity.
With the side, you know, couldn't quite beat the Broncos tonight. How are the boys going to improve for next year?
Mate, I reckon like over the last couple of weeks we're definitely doing a better job, but you know, number one's our defence. That's one big thing, and we put ourselves on a lot of pressure this year with drop balls. I don't know where we were. We must have been up near the top of errors and all the rest of it. So there's still a young squad, mate, so we've got a lot of improvement.
I thought you and Jason Tamalolo led from the front. What do you say about the big man? I think he's on 285. Has he got a little bit left in him?
He's got plenty. You know, he mightn't play like he used to a couple of years ago, but he still offers so much in his team. just playing along beside him gives you so much confidence. I love him. He's very humble for what he's done, but he's just so good up, and he's been good for me.
What's the future? You're going to stay around town for a bit more fishing?
Well, I've seen if you had a job over on the cane farm, mate, and I might start chopping cane for you.
I will. One question, is Daddy going to do a bit more housework?
Yeah.
He is. Oh, that's good. Thanks a lot, Jordan. Congratulations, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
So, Jordan McLean, let's do those numbers. 242 games, 86 of them with Melbourne. His last game with Melbourne was the 2017 Premiership over North Queensland, and then he became a Cowboy. 156 games for North Queensland. 8 test matches for Australia. He played those 2 tests in 17 and 18. And then back in 2022, just a couple of years ago, as a 30-year-old, was chosen to play for New South Wales in Origin. And unfortunately got a hamstring in the lead-in. And retires with 8 Kangaroos tests, but no State of Origin appearances for New South Wales. But it's a long way from Alfred Oval at Young to the top of the game, and I'll show a bit of my roots as well here, Belly.
Your home ground territory.
Yeah, I cut my teeth writing articles in Group 9 and Group 20, so that's my area too. So good on you, Jordan McLean, and a shout out to the young cherry pickers, and one of their best, of course, Angus Crichton is among them, and Brett Mullins in that group as well. Righto, Loz, who you got?
Reece Walsh. Reece, I thought your form the last month has been outstanding. Credit to you. I know you threw the intercept, but you threw some beautiful balls after that. Your confidence is pretty high. You're playing really well.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Yeah, trying my best, and just got to keep on working hard as a team.
Defensively, you probably got to improve. Michael Maguire said that's an area you got to stop a few more tries all over the park, and a few errors probably at both times.
Yeah, mate, of course. I think that's our main priority. It's been our main priority ever since pre-season. So, we've got to really fine-tune that and try our, best more in defence about stopping some tries.
Big Payne, he's the 75th minute. He's still going strong. He's a big unit and really hard to stop, isn't he? He's got a good forward pack.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me, mate. He's the best I've ever seen. So I don't think there's ever been someone in the NRL like him in existence. So I've got so much respect, so much love for Big Payno. Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Ooh, sorry, mate.
The supporters really love your attacking play. All the best in the finals.
Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it.
Well done, Reece. And good on you, Laurie. You're still on the hunt around there. So who we need? You've ticked off the retiring Jordan McLean. Well, Reece Robson, I wonder how he's feeling as well. Loz, he's about to go from this part of the world to the big smoke. You remember what that was like back in the day. Mind you, they didn't have a team up here when you went to Sydney to play for the Chooks and the Sharks and the Bears all those years ago. Season over for North Queensland. So, last year, beat Newcastle in the first week of the finals, only to go down to Cronulla in the second week of the finals. 2022, obviously the high water mark of the Todd Payne era when they beat Cronulla in Golden Point, an amazing Golden Point final, only to go down to Parramatta in a preliminary final here. But so of the Payton era, it's the second worst win-loss ratio. He started with a 7-win season in 2015, and this year just the 9-win and a draw. Back to you, Laurie.
Ben Hunt, 351 games. How's the body feeling?
Mate, I'm pretty tender. There's a couple of tackles there that I missed a lot of tackles, but there's a couple of tackles there that got to increase me back tonight. But yeah, feeling a bit wounded, but we'll be right.
Renault's hamstring a bit dicey, but yeah, I thought you're playing really well in that position. Yeah, not overcooking it and really doing things at the right way.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, play a calm, relaxed brand of footy, mate. We've got a lot of excitement machines in this team, so I just got to play my role and try and keep a cool head on everyone.
Your number one's been outstanding the last month. I know he threw that intercept, but yeah, he puts that behind. He doesn't. He's playing really good football.
Yeah, he's a special player, mate. He really is. We don't win the last couple of weeks if we don't have him. So he's one of a kind, Reece, and we'll back him all the way.
defensively, probably got to improve in a few areas.
Yeah, definitely, mate. There were some soft tries there tonight that, going into playing some finals footy, you just can't give them up. So, we're going to sort ourselves out in the next couple of weeks, or it could be a quick final series.
What about, is there dreams of that grand final? Imagine getting there again, unbelievable.
Yeah, that'd be special, mate. 10 years on, if we can get back there, that's definitely the goal, and definitely be special.
Appreciate your time on ABC Sport.
No worries, thank you.
Sounding very Darren Lockyer-esque.
He certainly is.
Benny Hunt with that gravelly tone.
What a great career. I remember meeting Ben Hunt. I won't say how old he was, but he was at a coaching camp that we were doing in Gatton, and he came over and I met him as a young fella, could have been 12, 13, 14 in that sort of era, and was a wonderful young bloke, was very keen to come over and do some of the talented player squad work that we were doing, and what a wonderful young person he was.
Well, a couple of the players still hanging around. 38-30 the final scoreline for Brisbane over North Queensland. 2 tries for Gemet Shibasaki, singles for Walsh, Karapani, Staggs, Haas. Hold on that, I'll go back to Laurie.
Jason Tamalala, 285 games. There's a few more left in you.
Pretty disruptive year for myself. Having a good amount of time on the sideline, but wanted to come back and make up for a bit of lost time. So strong. We've been solid the last month or so, and it's good to be back playing footy. Playing alongside. I wanted to make sure I was playing in the last game alongside Macca, so enjoy as a farewell game.
Yeah, quick word on Macca.
Yeah, truck. He's a great. He's the best person to describe as a North Queenslander. Goes about his job, doesn't expect the accolades, and it's just another day of work for him. So he's a hard-working fella, and he's definitely going to be missed next year. You can't replace his experience, and but I'm sure in saying that there'll be a few players we'll be looking forward to trying to take the opportunity at the starting front row spot.
Yeah, what areas do you think the boys have got to improve at?
Look, Laurie, take a pick. To be honest, this year's been a bit of a circus, and obviously defence is a key area, but also a few things that we need to fix in terms of combinations and just trying to get some time together. There's been a few times where we've chopped and changed nearly every game, and if we can keep everyone healthy and on the park, that might help with the way we'll perform.
I'll let you go back to the boys. Appreciate your time on ABC.
Thanks, Laurie. Good to talk to you, mate.
Good on you, Loz. Head up, mate. I'm just wondering, did you see down there who they gave the Carl Webb medal to? Because we were sort of, we were following you around and not quite sure who got the medal for the player of the match. And Laurie's just actually asking who got it. Well done, mate. You asked Katoni Staggs.
Katoni Staggs.
He got it. Well done. Great job. So Katoni Staggs awarded the best player on the field, and we'll get Grant Bell's votes in a moment. So just those scoring details again. Broncos 38, Cowboys 30. It was 22-18 at halftime. 7 tries to 5. For the Broncos, Shibasaki with 2. Walsh, Karapani, Staggs, Walters and Haas all scored as well. Walsh kicked 5 from 7. 5 tries for the Cowboys, 2 of which went to Semi Valame. Tries for Burns, Clifford and Robson. Drinkwater kicking 5 from 5. Before we get Grant wrapping things up here with his votes, we'd better just give you the full-time score in tonight's New South Wales Cup game. The Bears flogged the Eels, North Sydney 54 over the Eels 6. Earlier today, it was Canberra 24 over the West's Tigers 10, and St George Illawarra beaten comfortably by Manly Warringah 40 points to 24. Let's start our wrap of the day with a more than 3-decade drought broken in the nation's capital. The JJ Gilton and Shield, which used to be presented to the premiers of the New South Wales Rugby League competition as the Premiership Trophy, which now is the Minor Premiers Trophy in the NRL era. For the first time in more than 3 decades, it's going to the Canberra Raiders. Here's the wrap with Timmy Gable and the team.
Emotional scenes here at Canberra Stadium this afternoon with the Raiders securing the JJ Giltinan Shield for the minor premiership with a 24 points to 10 victory over the West Tigers. It was a tough game of footy, 12-10 at half-time. The Raiders scoring the only 2 tries in the second half to Simi Sasangi and Ethan Strange. 24-10, the crowd 23,746. But as I say, it was a tough game of footy, very brutal in defence. And the West Tigers came here to prove a point. Alongside me is the former Raiders skipper Alan Tung.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tim. We knew the attacking brilliance of the Tigers. They've shown that right throughout the season. Jerome Lumai and Api Coruscant, they just really cause headaches all afternoon, and they did that here today. But physically, defensively, they ripped in as well and made it really hard. 12-10 at half-time, as you mentioned. It could have been anybody's game, but in that second half, the Raiders just got back into their groove, although they were facing a pretty tough breeze. The first try went to Simi Sasangi, got it to 18 points to 10, who was covering in for Seb Chris, who was out injured in this game, and then Ethan Strange sealed it right at the end after a couple of nice offloads there, one from Hudson Young, another from the captain in Joe Tarpany, and he scores to seal the victory. Some really great performers right across the park from both teams. 3 points though today went to Josh Papali'i, the older statesman for the Canberra Raiders, 157 run meters, but both his stints, his start to the game was absolutely brilliant, and when Ricky brought him back on, it really turned the way to that second half went as well. 2 points went to Hudson Young, heavily involved in everything, 162 run meters, but at his physical best was Hudson, and 1 point to the front rower for the West Tigers in Terrell May, just involved in absolutely everything. He finished with just under 60 tackles there for the game. For a front rower is phenomenal. So he was really, really strong and was great for the West Tigers as well. So some really good performers right across the park, but the Raiders thoroughly deserving their victory here this afternoon.
Alan, I just wanted to ask you about the West Tigers. This is a platform for next year, isn't it? We've seen how well they can play. We saw it in the first half last week against the Cowboys, and we saw it today against the Raiders. They're going to be a good side because they've got so many young players in their team, and they're a very physical side. They certainly really throw something at you, don't they?
Oh, yeah, you're right. And I think they really missed Adam Dewey as well. Latu Finu, yes, great little player there, but probably his fifth play options in particular, they just struggled a little bit against the Raiders. So they missed that. They're certainly building. They're a skillful team. They really took it to them. They took it to them. We called it throughout the game a number of times. It's like a street fight here today. They really got into the trenches with them. Yes, they couldn't finish it off in the end there, but there's some really good signs for West Tigers fans.
Yes, and I guess quite fitting too, because it is the 3rd anniversary of the passing of Alan Hawke, who was a passionate supporter and Raiders board member, chairman for many years. Alan, always passionate about the Raiders, proud of what the Raiders could do, and congratulations to the Raiders winning the minor premiership. Michelle sent us through that SMS, and I guess that is quite fitting, isn't it? Because this means so much, this victory here today and the minor premiership, with the Raiders very much a community club. So full time, 24 points to 10, the Raiders over the West Tigers. The crowd here this afternoon, 23,746.
Good on you, Tim. So the Raiders now have one game to go. It will be the second last game of the premiership season, home and away. They go to Redcliffe to play the Dolphins. That's right, it's not at Lang Park next week, it's at Dolphin Oval. So that's where the Raiders will finish their season. They're on top regardless. It'll be interesting to see who Ricky sends to the Peninsula for that final game, and you might be able to get a little bit of an inkling of what's going on tomorrow with the pre-game show with Glenn and the team. Joe Tarpany is going to join us, so I'm sure that'll be among the topic of conversation, with Top Spot locked in, just who travels and who doesn't to the Peninsula to take on the Dolphins as the Raiders set themselves for an assault at the title. Let's get to Cogra, the second of the games today. Manly Warringah, far too good for St George Illawarra. Spriggy and the team with the wrap.
Well, Q, the game did lose some of its lustre because the Roosters' result last night meant that life would be hard for the Seagulls and perhaps the Dolphins in that last spot in the top 8. But the Seagulls did have intent early. They scored the first try of the game for Corey Waddell, who would score a double. The Dragons hit back at a fantastic team try, which was capped off by Laikan King-Tonga in the 9th minute. Manly did control most of that first half with Tolotau Kola before going off injured. He scored, as did Cherry Evans and Aaron Schopp just before half-time. 22 points to 6 was the half-time lead for the visitors. And then, well, from that point, the Dragons hit back. Back-to-back tries for them, Jacob Little and Christian Tuipulotu, to make it 22 points to 18. They had a sniff at that point, the Dragons, but, it always looked a little too late. Their defence was a little soft at times, as Luke Lewis described it, and in the end, Waddell's second try, Tommy Talau crossed as well. There was a consolation try there late for the Dragons, Emre Gula, and in the end, that penalty try for Caleb Navale in the final minute. Of course, we had no game clock here for the last 10 minutes, but nonetheless, the Seagulls did see it through to win 40 points 24. So plenty of points scored in this game, Luke Lewis. What were your impressions of it?
Well, I was pretty impressed with Manly, really. They ran hard, they defended well early. They had some really good attack on both sides of the field, and they executed when they needed to. They got off to a good lead just before half-time. Started slow in the second half, but then they found their mojo again in probably the back end of that second half. But for me, Daly Cherry Evans, I don't know how many try assists he had tonight, but his short balls on that right edge, absolutely beautiful. His kicking game was great. Goal kicking once again, but really good performance there from Manly. And like I said before the game, I think they would just come out and play a bit of footy, and that's what they did, and they worry teams when they do it.
Tom Trbojevic was outstanding as well.
Yeah, really good at fullback. I thought his carries were really strong. He made breaks, he made half breaks, quick play the balls. He set up a really nice pass back inside to Daly Cherry Evans, which ended up setting him up for a try as well when they went down to Saab and then back into Daly. But he was brilliant at number 1. That's where they need to keep him, and that's where Manly are their most dangerous, when Tom Trbojevic playing great football in the 1 jersey.
So Alfafar Sitley was sin-binned in that second half for the Seagulls. So they were down a man. Despite that, still most impressive. I mentioned Tolotau Kola, who we believe suffered an MCL, so a knee injury on the minor scale, of course, but means that is season over and he won't take any part in next week's game against the Warriors for the Daly Cherry Evans farewell. And Jack de Belin also placed on report in the second half for a hip drop. Who are your 3 best across the course of the game, Luke Lewis?
I ended up going Tom Trbojevic for 3, Daly Cherry Evans for 2, and Corey Waddell. I thought those 3 guys were really good, but Tom at fullback, he was everywhere, especially in defence, great under a high ball, and then the try assist from Daly Cherry Evans, absolutely brilliant.
So next week, the Dragons host, again, this time in Wollongong against the Penrith Panthers. That's the Saturday 3 o'clock game. Manly host the Warriors at Brookvale, of course. One last home game for them and for their captain, Daly Cherry Evans, in his 352nd and last appearance in a maroon jersey of Manly Warringah. That's the early game, Friday, 6 p.m. In fact, I believe, Quentin Hull, you're doing both of those games. Hey, Louis, enjoy tomorrow with Estee and Gibbsy at Shark Park.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Nice long drive for me, so can't wait for it.
All right, can't wait for that. Thank you to Malcolm Carianis and to Ralph Tucker, of course, our producer, and to Dennis Carnahan, our tech. It was, in the end, Q, 40-24 win for the Sea Eagles over the Dragons at Colgrove Jubilee.
I'm glad Spriggy knows my roster. I know I've just got to get on a plane at 8 o'clock tomorrow and get back to do the Dolphins and Titans tomorrow. Sharks and Knights beforehand. Belly, quick votes before we wrap things up here. Broncos 38, Cowboys 30.
Yeah, I know that they went Katani Stags for the Carl Webb medal, but my 3 points went to Reece Walsh. I think without Walsh out there, whilst there were some errors there, I don't think the Broncos win the game. So 3 points to Reece Walsh. I gave 2 points to Jace Taumalolo. 21 runs, 200 metres. I think he did 16 or 18 tackles. Huge contribution for the big bloke. And I gave my 1 point to Ben Hunt. It was a really difficult game because it ebbed and flowed so much. It was hard to sort of pin something down. But I thought Hunt really controlled things well for the Broncos.
Great to see you back at the footy, Belly. As ever, yet another season where it's been an absolute privilege to share the microphone with you and the likes of Laurie Spina, Brendan helping us here on the Faders, everyone else who's been a part of the team in Townsville. It's weird. There's a round to go, but this is the last game here and the Cowboys are in the finals. So.
Sort of like we're not, it's not like a Cowboys season with, but plenty of changes. I think we can look forward to, and all those Cowboys supporters out there can look forward to some changes, some player changes. changes and certainly some changes in the coaching and I think the style of play.
So the winners, the Raiders, the Sea Eagles and the Broncos on this Saturday of round 26. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Thanks for your company.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
6-all here at Canberra Stadium, the Raiders and the West Tigers. It goes to Starling, to Fogarty, through the hands now. It goes to Horsburgh, across the line, try! Underneath the post, Corey Horsburgh flew through the air. And Hudson Young gets his arm free, gets the pass away to Tuppeny. Tuppeny through a half gap, then it goes to Strange. Strange is through, try! Raiders! And that is the minor premiership.
Tom Trebojevic bursts away, back there for a nice flick pass from Cherry Evans on to Jason Saab, back on the inside for his skipper, and DCE goes the rest of the way. That's great finishing from Manly. This is last play Manly. Simpkin across here, Cherry Evans, and now darting in to score a second try for Corey Waddell. So Manly hits back. A try they so desperately needed here, the Sea Eagles. 26-18, kick to come Manly. 3 out, right-hand side of the sticks. It's come now Simpkin to Cherry Evans, and now Tommy Talau goes in to ground the ball and score a try for Manly. Back-to-back tries now for the Sea Eagles, and with that, it's now 32-18, and the game looks beyond the home side, St George Illawarra.
Last play, Broncos to the left. Walters cut out for the edge. Beautiful pass, beautiful take, beautiful try. Josiah Karapani. Now to the shift, it's 18 all. Out to the right, Mariner over halfway. Beats a tackle, 40 to go, 30 to go. Support infield, gives the pass to Walsh, who gets through, the last man did, and from their own line, the Broncos shift it right. That was what, play 2 off the kickoff? What a try! Ben Hunt does a little 360, gives it back to the left through Pakes, passes to the edge for Walsh. He puts Shibasaki through. Rock, Diamond Rock. There's another diamond. Dummy and took the tackle, passes to Shibasaki, sets him away. He draws the fullback, passes forward infield. Ref Klein was there, must have thought it was backwards out of the hand. He was in perfect position. Walters is backing up and scores the try. Haas on a straightening run. Payne, Haas still going. He is a wrecking ball. He is a Broncos machine, which scores at the southern end. And that might seal the top 4 for tonight for the Bronx. Defenders in front of him, Bateman so runs back the other direction. He now passes to Clifford on the left edge to Nene. Dummy give Purdue through the hands to Burns. Nice finish. Puts a little spin move on Karapani to plant the ball. But the timepiece counts down in Townsville, and the Broncos take possession of a spot in the top 4 with 1 game to play. Game over.
ABC